live. So for those of you that are in here, Brad always loves to leave right when it's time to go live or right when it's time to have a guest.
That's me.
There you go. He's like, oh, hey, man, just going to talk to you for, 10 minutes before we get, ready to go on the podcast. But, oh, it's 7:30? I got to go do something real quick. I'm talking shit on you.
What else is new? With every time we're about to start, I got to go do something.
Yep. Every time.
Sounds about right.
All right, let's pull this puppy up. How's everybody
What are we
doing
pulling
tonight?
up?
The live stream.
Yeah, sorry about the
Minutes
light.
before
My
we-
light died. Should I turn on my basement light so I don't look like a savage? Stand by.
I mean, it's not that bad.
I don't.
I don't think it's that bad. Who we got here in the chat? We got Zal, Robin, Notwater showed up a little early. James D.
I turn on the house lights, as they used to say.
Preston, Joe, Gilly, Samuel. What's up, guys? Thank you all for coming and joining on
Zao
this
joins your Discord.
live stream every Wednesday night. Hang on, let me press record.
Recording in progress.
How's everybody doing?
I know what I'm doing tonight.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm drinking good old Backwoods, Missouri homemade wine from my fellow neighbor. And that
Does he listen?
is...
Does he listen to the podcast?
No, probably not.
Probably
even
tastes
think
like
he-
shit.
I don't even think he knows I have a podcast. I mean, I'll be honest.
Wine is so hard, man.
It's very hard, and it's I'll be honest with you, it's not bad. You can tell it's very, very strong. Like it's fermented, or like the alcohol taste. Very, very strong.
It's called the tannins.
The tannins.
Makes your mouth like a tea bag. It makes your mouth go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's from the
And
from
then-
the skin of the grapes. If I'm not getting too crazy, that's what it's from, the skin of the grapes.
Is that what's floating around in my drink right now?
Yeah, most likely there's some
Okay.
sediment in there.
I was wondering, what the hell you got in here, Greg? You trying to poison your neighbor or what?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, but speaking of wine, and I don't really know where I'm going with this, but we got Mr. Holiday over here, everybody. Let's give it up for Santa Claus.
Oh, me?
My
Yes,
man's in the Christmas spirit now. Let's go, baby. That last episode ran off or rubbed off on you a little bit.
Yeah, you can call me Father Christmas. That's what you call me now, Father Christmas.
Father Christmas. From
So
good
essentially, I was broken. I was broken by my kids, man. Like, how do you say no to a 4-year-old when she's like, Dad, there's only 5 houses on our block and we're the only one that doesn't have Christmas lights. But it's like, it's so crazy that, so I tell her that I'm finally going to put the lights up. She gets like freaking excited. I go do the Home Depot show. Of course, everything's sold out. It's freaking 2 weeks of Christmas. So I'm like scurrying together to get everything I need. I got the freaking clips. I'm on the freaking roof. She's so pumped. She's out there. She's putting the lights up with me. It's great. It's fantastic. So I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait for the sun to go down. Like I couldn't wait to show her. And I needed to go back to Ace Hardware to get some more clips. And I saw like a $65 6-foot blow up snowman. She's always talking about blow ups. We take the kids for a walk. She wants a freaking blow up. It's not really my style, but whatever. We blindfold them. We bring them outside when it's dark. And I'm like, I can't wait. I can't wait till she takes this blindfold off. Like Avery gets excited. She takes the blindfold off, silence. So we're waiting there. I'm looking at Tara. She's looking at me. Avery starts walking around to the far side of the house. Doesn't say anything. I'm like, where are you heading? She goes, I said 2 blow ups. Where's Frosty?
Oh my.
I'm like, that's the lights. Are they nice? Yeah, but where's the other blow up? Where's the other blow up? She says. Okay. So that's kind of the life that I'm living. That's why I don't deal with Christmas bullshit. Where's my other Frosty? You want to know where your Frosty is? Never coming to the front lawn. And I'm pretty sure that Santa's not coming back either next year.
How long has it been since you've put up Christmas lights?
9 years since my mom passed away. 11 years.
Holy crap.
Maybe 10. My mom died in February 2009. So December 2009 and on, I have not put lights up.
Is that why? Or is that a reason why? Part of it?
Yeah, I mean, we were a big Christmas family. My mom was a big Christmas family, and I don't know, when she passed away, we kind of stayed inside that first year.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really go out much because, you know, she grew up in the town I lived. Like, she was well known. She was a nurse in the hospital here. Like, everybody knew it. And it was just after a while, it got to the point of being like, you know, people are just being genuine, but like, you don't want to talk about it anymore. And we knew that that was going to be a major topic of conversation. So I think that first year we were all pretty bummed, and I don't even think we celebrated Christmas. We definitely I didn't put a Christmas tree up until I got married. So that's 7 years.
Yeah.
So I think and then when dad got sick and died around the holidays, I just became a Scrooge. I just like, the nostalgia of Christmas will just never be the same for me, I guess. And until I had kids, I had no reason to really fight for that Christmas spirit anymore, I guess. It was just like, it was dead to me. And yeah, I think I knew the kids would make it better, and they are. It's fun. Like, I'm not getting crazy. Like, there's no Elf on the Shelf. None of that dumb shit's going on here.
Dude,
yet.
you don't do Elf on the Shelf?
Absolutely not.
What?
Absolutely. My daughter doesn't even know what Elf on the Shelf is.
Bro, Mason literally lives for his elf. He lives for his elf. Like, every night before he goes to bed, he talks to him and says, okay, his name's Elfie. He's like, real original, right? He goes, all right, Elfie, this is what I want you to do tonight. Can you go grab this and do this? And like, he like comes up with these crazy ideas, and Lindsay tries to pull them off. I will say Lindsay's pretty good at coming up with
You don't think
creative.
that's creepy as fuck?
Nah, dude, it's so cool, man. Like, think about you when you were little, and like, and you like believed in Santa,
Yeah.
and like, you know, the magic, the feeling of like, oh my
I know.
gosh, Santa's like, that's what they get to experience every single day of December. I wish I could go back and have Elf on the Shelf. You know how amazing that is as a little kid? Come on, you got to do that for the kiddos.
No. I mean, maybe if she asked for it. It's not like I said, she has no idea what it is. It's not even like she's ever come home and been like, why don't we have an Elf on the Shelf?
Yeah.
She's never even brought it up. Like, they don't do it at school. It's funny. My daycare is they don't, they respect like families' wishes of like different holidays, different traditions and stuff. So they don't impose any traditions in school. Like, everything is like ultra, like, general. Like, they have a Christmas tree and a menorah and all these other things and like dreidels, but like all of these side like ancillary things, they never not just for Christmas, just for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I know a lot of my buddies, their kids came home with Elf on the Shelf from school, from daycare, and now my daughter didn't hear Baby Shark until she was like 3.
You don't just play that stuff at home though?
Baby Shark?
I mean, yeah, like,
Have you heard Baby Shark? No, I don't play that at home. Kidding me? I heard it. I had
it never
la,
like,
la, la, Elmo song in my head for like 6 years.
yeah.
Even before I had a kid, I started dreaming about Elmo and how much it was going to torture me. Now I got Paw Patrol, whenever you're in trouble, something like that.
We're a big now. Mason's in dinosaurs, and Millie kind of just watches whatever he watches.
Yeah,
I
I know.
will take-
You,
no, I
you,
take
had,
that
you had
back.
my daughter. You come over, and my 3-year-old daughter. You're like, "Oh, try this show out." And it's like Tyrannosaurus Rex jumps through the screen. My daughter almost had a seizure.
It's
I'm
freaking
like, "Yo,
awesome,
bro,
man.
yo, you got a little girl. You gotta start warming up. There's no Tyrannosaurus roaring
Bull
Jurassic
crap.
Park."
Millie's running around the kitchen roaring like a dinosaur, attacking her brother. It's just, I guess, it's whatever they're used to. I don't know. Oh man,
Yeah, man.
what are we talking about tonight?
Yo, money.
Actually,
Money.
speaking of like Christmas time,
Mm-hmm.
drinking, there's something that I don't think we've talked about on the podcast before that I kind of wanted to ask you. I want to get your thoughts on, because this is something that pops up in the financial space. Really, I see it a lot on Twitter, but I also see it on Instagram, and then you'll see some stuff on YouTube and stuff sometimes. And it's one of those things where people will bring up, and it revolves around spending your money on this don't know really what you call it. This piece of item, whatever it is. This a want. That's a good word. I guess I can come up with a want that you may want whenever you're out or doing something. So
Okay.
coffee.
Right.
You hear all the time.
Mhm.
Either don't be spending your money on $6-7 coffees. Don't waste your money on coffees. And if you would have taken your $6 coffee and invested it into VTI every single day over the next 30 years, you'd have, X amount of dollars or whatever it is.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on coffee and spending money on coffee versus like growing wealth, paying off debt and stuff like that?
I buy Starbucks every morning.
Do
Now I
you
will say
really?
that every morning.
How much is your drink?
$2.38.
Oh, well, that's not crazy, I
I
guess.
get a venti black pike, like they're just their house roast.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, hold on, I have to see this. I think.
Tricked
I
you. Tricked you.
I mean, I'll be a little cliche. I think that we all have things that we can overspend on, but the way I see it, and this is not a flex, okay? If I make roughly $1,000 a day, okay, that's pretty much what I bring in income, $30,000. If I am a drug addict and I'm addicted to caffeine, and that's something that I need in my life, whether you want to judge me for that or not, I like nice things. I always buy quality. And whatever you want to say about Starbucks as a company or a brand or whatever, if you say their coffee sucks, you're just hating. Because their coffee is really good.
No, you can't say that.
Their coffee is very good.
I wouldn't say. Okay, so I'll be the one to say it. I like Starbucks's coffee mediocre. I think it's mediocre, like the actual coffee.
Okay.
But when it comes to like their mixed drinks and stuff, the $6-7 drinks, I think those are amazing. The stuff that Lindsay gets.
Have you ever had their Christmas blend, which is out right now?
I've had a lot of their coffees. I don't know which.
It's one of the best cups of coffee I've ever had. I love it. But anyway, back to my point.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is something that goes beyond coffee for me. Now, my Starbucks is right across the street from my school. So I've been seeing the same managers and baristas come in and out of there for the last 11 years. Former students work there. Every once in a while, I'll get the principal and I'll be able to buy him a coffee. I always see one of my colleagues. It's a great way after commuting for like 25 minutes and really only talking to children for the better part of the morning. It's a great way socially to a social part of my day. I get more value than just the coffee by going to that. Now, could I get the same from anywhere? Yeah, like this, it happens to be across the street from my house. But back to the income thing. If I make $1,000 and instead of making $1,000 a day, I make $997 every single day. Okay. Like I'm willing to lose that. I'm willing to lose that 0.03% of my income to coffee every single day. You can find this out about anything. Like when my wife was pregnant and I was trying to like knock money or like knock what she was spending money on, she's like, how much you spend on booze? How much you spend on liquor? We all have these things. How many beers do you buy at the bar? We all have things that we can cut out. But I'll tell you this, I get Starbucks every single day, but I never eat out. Ever. And I eat rice and beans. So I'm willing to sacrifice other things like that to get coffee. Do I think that getting coffee is setting back my financial fit? It's more of the practice. Like over the summer when I don't go to work every day, I don't get Starbucks. Like I don't need to go get Starbucks. It's convenience. That's one of the greatest marketing ploys of Starbucks. They make it very convenient. Like, hey, how about we go right across the street from my high school? Yeah. It's a pretty damn good idea. But I don't know. Like,
so you don't think it's a big factor of building wealth?
To recite and maybe butcher Ramit Sethi, don't come at me with $5-10 decisions come at me with $500 and $1,000 decisions. Those are the things that are really going to turn the needle over time. And I mean, it gets easy. Like, I'm not one of the people that also hates on people that believe that it hurts your financial
Right,
freedom.
right.
Like, I'm not somebody that's posting like, got coffee today. There goes 7 days of I'm not mocking people
Right.
for their beliefs and how they feel. I don't care. Like, if you think that coffee is ruining your financial future, then stop it. I'm sure there's people that listen to our show that think alcohol is terrible,
Mhm.
but they don't judge us for it. Like, the same holds true. We all have our vices.
Yeah.
And for me to judge people on their vices, that makes me not the person that I want to be. I might say, hey, you only make $20 a day. A $5 run to Starbucks every day is a very, very large portion of your income.
Mhm.
And you might want to start to diversify that income and make some coffee at home once in a
So
while.
so you do think
But
there is like
go
a threshold almost of where it may be an issue. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, if you're going into credit card debt to get Starbucks, you're an idiot,
Yeah.
And I just think like anything, like you can't knock, like, let's say, I don't know if he does, but let's say that LeBron James has a Bugatti, right?
Mhm.
That is much, much different than me getting a Bugatti.
Yeah.
I make a
Absolutely.
couple $100,000 a year. He makes a couple $1 million every single year. So if we look at the ratio of spending to income, that's savings rate, right? I don't feel that coffee every day, maybe $25, $30 a week, when I'm making almost $7,000 a week, I don't think $30 is affecting my savings rate at a margin of safety that makes me think that I can change, that I'm spinning the needle. If it's coffee and it's beer and it's eating out and it's overspending on, that's where it becomes an issue. It's more, our reactions and our attitudes and our behaviors that affect our financial freedom, not necessarily the decisions that we make.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, I get it,
And,
dude.
and then also too, like I said, I am getting a black coffee every single day.
Yeah.
I don't know if $50 or $60 on coffee every week, that might be worth it. Or like, I'm not for getting a black coffee and getting one of their breakfast sandwiches too, and bumping that up to $8 a day. Like, no, I'm not. That's just personally what I don't do. But maybe you only eat once a day, and that breakfast sandwich is the only thing you have, and you only eat for $5 a day. If I only saw you like this, I would think that you were reckless, right? I mean, the greatest mind in the world, Albert Einstein, once said, like, everybody's a genius, but if you judge a goldfish on how well it climbs a tree, it's going to feel like it's an idiot forever. So, like, for me to be like, you get coffee every day, you're an idiot. And they're like, well, besides that cup of coffee, all I consume is water for the rest of the day.
Mm.
I don't drink booze. I don't even like iced tea. That's all I drink is one cup. I spend $2 a day on liquid. There's not too many of us that can say that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's other things in my life that I think we can really impact. But I will say, what I thought you were going to ask me is, in the spirit of Christmas, like how you handle gifts with people.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like, so you have siblings,
Yep.
you have a sister-in-law and a brother,
Yep.
right? And you have a wife, and you have kids, and you have step parents, regular parents. You have a lot of people that, regardless of even friends. How I think you and I probably have very, very different approaches to like spending on gifts. So how do you and Lindsay like handle that situation? Are you budgeting the whole year? Do you kind of just go for it at Christmas and then lick your wounds in January? Like, how do you go about Christmas?
We try to keep everything very even. That's the first thing. So if I'm spending something on my mom and dad, then we're going to spend roughly the same on Lindsay's side of the family as well for both sets of parents. So like they'll each get one set will get what my mom and dad get, and then the other set will get my mom and dad got.
Okay.
So that's the first probably big thing is we both say, and we're in an agreement of that, like we're not going to go spend $100 on my appearance and then 500 on yours. You know, that's just not how it works.
Let me ask you this though. I don't know if this is the truth, and I'm not even speaking from experience, because obviously both my parents have passed away. But say, just hypothetically, if this was somebody's situation, say one of the sets of grandparents lives local and watches the kids every single day, and the kids don't go to daycare, and they're kind of the child care support for you, and the other set of parents lives 2 hours away and they don't give you that support. Does that hold any water or no?
I would say you can give back in other ways until not it doesn't have to be for Christmas.
Okay.
Like I would still probably keep Christmas the same, but I would give back in other ways throughout the year.
Because like that's something that I've heard friends talk about, like even with siblings.
Yeah.
And like my brothers both spoil my daughter and my son to no end.
Mm-hmm.
My brother Gerard, though, he spoils my kids in a way that almost makes me feel uncomfortable. You know, and he's a single guy, 38, financially independent, no debt, just racks money. Like he also is one of those jerks that gets everything that he needs. And he's one of the hardest people to shop for because he gets everything he needs. He's very, very simple. He lives in a 500 square foot apartment and he really just likes to travel and watch fish play. And on top of that, like spoils the shit out of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you handle that?
What do you mean? Like how would
Like with siblings, like let's say Josh was just spoiling your kids to no end. Always just coming over, not because he thinks he has to come with gifts, just because he's a giving heart. And then your sister-in-law is kind of like in between work maybe, or she doesn't have this, or she probably gives in other ways, right? Like so you don't look at like how people give and then how you give. You pretty much give according to what you want to give, regardless of any outside situations.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty true. Because like, to answer your first question is, I probably wouldn't, you know, if like, okay, so first Josh and I don't give each other gifts. We kind of agreed upon that. Like, save the money. Our gift is spending time with each other, kind of. Because like we don't think Christmas has to be about gifts. Christmas is about, you know, the feeling, the spirit, the, you know, joy times of spending with family, drinking a beer with each other. Like that's our gift, you know, just spending time together. I don't know why Christmas has become so much of a like materialistic thing. I personally would be totally fine not getting anything, and the gift of giving is cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool when you get like your mom and dad something really special that, you know, you definitely saved up a little bit for and whatnot. Vice versa. But Josh and I have decided not to give each other gifts, and we've been doing this for years now. He does give my kids gifts, and I'll do the same when he has kids. That's just kind of how we do it. But yeah, to answer your second question, yeah, Lindsay and I really decided like this is what we spend for each person. We're going to spend this amount this year. This is what we're going to get them. And it's not extravagant. It's not an extravagant amount by any means.
Right.
Because again, this is my belief. I don't think I need to spend a crap ton of money and break the bank just to get a gift to say, hey, here you go. Here's a gift. You know what I mean? And they open it for 2 seconds and it's over. So that's kind of how we do things. And then to go back to like the parents who may be watching the kids a lot more and spending more time and helping out a lot more versus the parents who live out of town, then you may just give back a little bit throughout the year. Take them out to eat, fill up the gas tank if you're using the car, or whatever. I don't know. I'm just coming up with random stuff, but little things like that. Venmo them for a night that they cook dinner or something and say, hey, here you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Little things like that. We don't really save it for Christmas time. There was something else I wanted to say real quick, but I forgot it.
What about you and your wife?
Oh, that's what it was. Thank God. You read my mind. So Lindsay and I don't exchange gifts either. What we do is we exchange memories. So what that means is we do spend a decent amount of money on traveling. And that is what we consider our gift to each other. Now, it doesn't always happen around Christmas time. This year it happens to be that we're going to Cancun in a week, actually. So we'll be in Cancun in a week, and that's kind of our Christmas. Also, it's our / anniversary gift this year to each other because this year got really busy. But when we got married, we actually made a vow to each other to say we will travel to a different spot every single year for as long as you and I are both alive. And even if one of us passes away early, that's still a promise we made to each other that we're going to take the family and we're going to go travel somewhere in honor of each other's names. And that's just something that we always will want to do. So that's kind of like our gift to each other for, I guess, anniversary and Christmas, because traveling can get pretty expensive. And if we can afford 2 trips for the year, cool, we'll do that. But usually it's something along the lines of that. Like it's an experience we're trading with each other or spending time with each other, doing something different, going somewhere, seeing something, doing whatever. So that's kind of our thing, because like when Lindsay and I need something throughout the year, like we just go get it. Like that's just kind of how it is. And it's cool to like get a gift and cool to give someone something, but like when I'm with Lindsay every single day, it's kind of hard to like come up with something to surprise her. And her and I get so much more enjoyment and joy and value out of spending time with each other away from everyone, doing something just us two, and with the family as well. We'll take the kids, sometimes too, but I really think it's important as a married couple to just sometimes get away for just you two to kind of like rekindle the marriage. Cause like it's crazy, man. Like Lindsay has the kids all day unless Mason's at preschool. I'm upstairs working all the time. Life happens. So I'm a very firm believer as a married couple, you need to take the time to get away from the kids, to get away from your everyday life, get out of town and just go and relax and have a good time with each other.
Let me ask you about your brother. Did you guys have a conversation about not getting each other gifts, or was that just something that organically happened?
We did.
'Cause I mean, if somebody, like say there's somebody that's like on a Dave Ramsey journey, right? And they're in this position where they feel like they've been getting people all these gifts for all these years, and they kind of want to step back and take that, let's go out to dinner, have a memory. And I'll talk about what my family does in a second, but did you have that talk with Josh, or did you guys just organically get there?
Yeah, it's been a few years now. I mean, it's been honestly probably like 7 years, maybe since like college, maybe. I don't know. It's been a while. I think Josh or I called one of us called each other and we're just like, hey man, because what we used to do actually is we would share gifts. So he would go half in, I'd go half in, and we'd get mom and dad like a bigger gift. That's kind of what we did. So I think one year, it's been so long now, we were talking about the gift for mom and dad, and we're like, so what about each other? And he was kind of like, I'm fine. I don't need anything. And I was like, dude, I'm fine too. I don't need anything either. Let's just buy something for mom and dad and leave it at that. He's like, done. And like me and Josh are super open.
It was a relief, probably,
it was
right?
awesome. We both were like, yes, thank you. You know what I mean? That's one less thing I have to worry about. So, and Josh and I are both very open with each other. I can tell him, I can call him whatever I want. He can call me whatever he wants. We're very honest with each other, and we don't hide anything. So if we got something we need to talk about, we will, which is good. It can be good and bad, but that's kind of how we did it, man. We just were open in a conversation one day, and I don't remember who asked each other, but I was just like, yeah, man, we don't need to get each other gifts. Just spending the time with each other is good enough.
And it's so nice, like when that pressure is gone and you can really give just for the sake of giving. Like if you saw something out and you were like, oh my God, this would just be really awesome. Like you're just like walking through the mall somewhere or walking somewhere and you're like, that'd be a really, really good gift for Josh. It's when you don't have to give, I feel like it gives you so much more freedom to remove that pressure from yourself. And every once in a while you find something cool that you can get somebody, or you overhear somebody. And like, I'm more like that. Like I said, my brother's very, very hard to shop for, but like, we'll be out somewhere and I'll hear him talking about something, or he'll bring up something casually in conversation, even if it's just like a fish is coming out of the new hoodie line or whatever. And like, I'll just shoot on, and I know he's going to buy the primo hoodie that he wants, but maybe I'll just get him a t-shirt and just send it to him in July. Like it makes it so much easier to kind of give that gift of giving. Before I get to mine, this is all about you, but I'll get to me in a second, because these are all things that I've had to battle around the Christmas season. what about the people that you had no idea they were going to give you a gift, or maybe your kids a gift, and then they show up the week before Christmas, or maybe a neighbor or something?
Oh,
Like, we have new neighbors, and last Christmas they kind of like showed up and spoiled my kids a little, and we were like, cool. Like, Tara all of a sudden was like frantic, like, oh my God, we got to get on Amazon. We got to get something for their kids. Has that happened to you?
it has. And you know what? To be honest, man, like Lindsay takes it a lot different than I do. You
Because
know,
I'm like, nip it in the bud. I'm like, don't get them anything. Because I remember I used to watch The Big Bang Theory with Sheldon. He was like, birthday presents are so stupid. It's just an exchange of $50 until one of you died and the other one went.
yeah.
And I feel like with neighbors, like, you're gonna go back and forth and pass back $50 gifts to Ben, and like, I don't know. That's,
Here's the
I
way
mean,
I would
I
take that.
appreciate it. I thank them. I appreciate it, but I don't feel the need. But Tara's like, if they get us something, she's like online seeing how much it costs to make sure she gives an equal gift. I'm like, you're driving me so fucking crazy.
Yeah,
right now.
that sounds like Lindsay, and I don't know if that's like a wife thing or whatnot, but I'm kind of the same way you are, man. Like all, if they took the time out of their day to get my kids a gift, that's amazing, and like that means a lot to me, and I'll pay them back in some other way down the road. You know, I may cut the grass one day without them. You know, they come home and they got a fresh cut lawn or whatever it is, and it's just like, oh, you know, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. I was like, hey, no worries. And I wouldn't bring up the Christmas thing, but just like that's kind of what I would do, and that's happened in the past.
Thanks for the gift, bud. There's your lawn,
Yeah,
Mom.
there's your repayment. There you go. No, you know what I mean. But that's kind of how I take that, man. Like I don't get too concerned if someone ever gets me something and I don't. You know, it doesn't. I guess it does. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but it doesn't affect me too bad. If anything, I'm pleased and thankful that they took the time out of their day to get me something, and it means a lot. And then it makes me want to do something for them more down the road. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't affect me too bad, to be honest, man. It really doesn't.
I was one of the Ramsey people that coming into Christmas, I like. I just hated the stress of feeling like I had to buy something. This was never ever. If you're one of my family members, this was never ever. I don't want to buy a gift. It was more, I don't want to get you a gift of low value just to say that I got you a gift. I'd
Right.
rather wait until I bump into a certain situation, or like I have season tickets to the Mets. Like, I was able to bring a friend to a game and buy them a beer, or bring my like things like that. But I remember when Tara was pregnant, Avery was born in January. Okay, Avery was born in January, and we just started our debt-free journey. Avery was coming. Tara was not working because she was on bed rest. So we were out some income. So this was before we were doing well. Like,
Yeah.
and this was kind of the thing that drove us, that really motivated us to start getting our money in order when Tara was out of work. And we knew we were going to have to buy all these gifts. And we kind of used the baby as an excuse to break that mold and have that conversation. And I called up my brothers and I was like, guys, it hurts me to say, but at the risk of not getting a gift, I just want to let you know that right this year is tight for me financially, and this is a tough conversation for me to have because you know how much I like to give. But in lieu of a gift, I would love it, and I would love it so much if we could all just get together and maybe have a brunch the week before Christmas or something like that. And we'll all get freaking weird drunk during the day and enjoy ourselves that way.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that year, and it was
So
so
fun.
awesome because my
Yeah.
brothers and I, you know, we never really got together. Like, my parents were definitely the glue that kept us together. We don't have any gripe with each other, but like, we're not as close as we would be if we were always going to family events and always going to mom and dad's and things like that. And I think the time went by until next Christmas, and one of my brothers was like, "Hey, last year was really awesome without the stress of gifts. Like, can we do that breakfast again?" And I was like, "Yep." And we've just been doing that pretty much until, I mean, up until now, we're still even doing it. But now, instead of getting gifts for me, my brothers get gifts for my kids. And every once in a while, like, my brother will show up and throw me something. And like I said, it's when it actually feels like you're giving and you're
Yes.
not just satisfying Christmas,
Yes.
it feels so much better.
Agreed. Let me ask you this question then. How do you feel, or how do you handle somebody in the family that you know is going to spend an enormous amount of money on
Yeah.
you and your family for Christmas,
Yeah.
and you just don't feel comfortable matching what they're going to give you? How do you handle something like that?
I just try and show gratitude the best I can. And my brother's a really good example of that.
Yeah.
Like last year, my brother Gerard got my kids a handmade toboggan, like a 13-foot toboggan from a mom and pop in like Michigan or Missouri. This thing was, wasn't that where they make toboggans? This thing is primo. He got it like flame etched where like they kind of like burn your name into it. It's got like custom padding with Avery and Brody's name stitched in the like. I looked it up. This thing was like $1,100.
Jeez.
And I was like, oh my God. And that was right after Brody's birthday where he got him one of those radio flyer wagons with all the trimmings and every cup holder and every Gerard is like that. But what I know is that he's genuine. Gerard doesn't do it for the accolades. He doesn't do it for the applause. He doesn't do it for the hug. He does it genuinely because he loves to give. And because he lives such a simple lifestyle, he can do that for people. I know that I would never have been able to match that generosity, mostly because I don't know what to get him. And every year I think about it, I'm like, Tara, we really got to take care of Gerard. And she's like, what are we going to get him? A yacht? Like what are we going to do? And I know that he, like, maybe last year he wanted like this, like a hitch rack where he could like hooks on the back of his truck and he could put like a cooler and stuff outside of the truck.
Yeah.
So if he wants to go camping with a bunch of people, he doesn't pack his whole truck. And it was expensive for me. And this was like, I got it for him, but this was after a couple years of extreme generosity and it felt good. Like at first I was like, oh, it's a little much. And then Tara was like, Brad, do you want to get it for him? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, then get it for him. Like, it's not like you're looking for a gift and you scrambled and the only gift that you could scramble for is this expensive gift. This was a thoughtful thing he wanted, that he was going to spend on himself eventually. He just wasn't up to it yet. And he did that. But no, I mean, I just try and show I show generosity and I tend to be a generous person. But like I said, I don't want to misconstrue this with like, I don't get people gifts, I'm just saying that I'm more spontaneous. I'm more like we went out to dinner tonight and I matched the bill as a tip. Like I'm more like that, I'm more, we're out somewhere and somebody's like, oh man, that veal Parmesan looks incredible. Like when we took your brother out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he felt uncomfortable. He's like, guys,
Yeah.
I've never been in a place like this before.
That's not his style. I mean, he just
No.
yeah, you don't.
And
do
we were able to say, get whatever you want, bro.
yeah, and it's so cool.
Like, that's
to
the
do that.
type of that's the type of stuff that I'll do. James D said, "What's a toboggan?" Like a big sled with a toboggan, an old school wooden sled. I don't know how to explain it any other than that. I asked Gerard why he got that. He goes, when I was growing up, it was always on like the Christmas LL Bean catalog. Always had like kids
Yeah,
tobogganing down the hill, and he's like, I always wanted one of those damn toboggans. And it was funny. Last year here in New York, we don't get a lot of snow. We got snow like the week before Christmas. And Gerard was like, dude, I got to come over because I don't even know if we're going to get snow again this year. So I'm bringing this damn toboggan over right now.
It's a money's worth, man.
Yeah. But as far as like even to move ahead, like even with Tara, same thing. If Tara needs something, a new set of clothes or whatever, or she wants something for herself, I just say, get it. Generally I'm like, get it. But we never get each other gifts anything. Like we had our anniversary last week. People think it's crazy that we didn't get each other a card.
We don't either.
We didn't get each other a card. We didn't get each other nothing. Our anniversary is on Saturday. Now on Tuesday, I was at work and I was like, it felt weird to me because I love her so much and I want to get her things. It's just, that's not the vibe that we have. So I got her a $50 bouquet on the way home and just brought her home flowers 5 days after our anniversary. And then like scheduled, like those are the things that me and her really look for. And I remember like the dating scene and shit, like it's hard. I said to her, like, I'm so thankful that your engagement ring was really the last gift I ever really needed to give you. We don't do Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
We don't do Christmas. And that's just like being on the same page. I mean, once again, it's not like we don't get each other anything. It's that we don't feel the need to sit by the tree and open a gift.
Yeah.
If she sees something that she wants, she's gonna get it for me. She's gonna stuff my stocking with socks and underwear because she knows it's what my parents used to do, and she likes to keep that tradition alive and stuff. So I know I'll get that.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the only socks and underwear I've ever owned, but
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people. The reason I want to have this conversation with you, and it went on a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but I think there's a lot of people out there that want to have those difficult conversations with people or feel the need where that need doesn't need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
People can, if you're honest with people and let them know. I was lucky that I got to use the kid as an excuse. If I didn't get to use the whole, like, I'm having a kid and Tara's out of work excuse, I would have just been like the old, like, oh, here's cheap Brad living in his spreadsheet, blah, blah, blah,
But see, that's what I don't get though, man. Like the fact that people would even say that is what pisses me off.
It's better than getting pissed on.
Very true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I mean, I am. Last year, Avery was 3, and I just went back. I filmed the video of us like coming down the stairs, and it was like the first real year that she was aware of what's going on in life and knew that it was, quote, a holiday. But this year she'll be 4 next month, and this year she's very, very excited, asking questions. Like, she asked for a balance beam.
Mm.
She's super into gymnastics, and we got her a balance beam, and we're like, oh, maybe Santa will bring it. And then, like, I see her staring at the fireplace, and she's a thinker. Like I said, when she went silent when we turned on the lights and was like looking around, observing, and it took a little bit for us to be like, what's up? Because she's super observant. So she's looking at the fireplace the other day, and I'm like, what's up, baby? And she's like, so if Santa gets me a bounce beam, how's he going to get it out that hole? Because she knows how big they are from gymnastics.
Say magic.
And I'm like, magic, baby? She's like, oh, all right. And then she's like, another thing I'm thinking, why not just come through the door? Why does he come through the chimney? And I'm like, because the reindeer need to land on the roof. Why is he going to come all the way down here and then climb up the roof when he can come right? Like, so these questions now are making it like fun for me. And I'm curious to see, I don't know what the age is where like kids like don't believe in Santa anymore, and oh man, we probably should have put a spoiler in case kids are listening in the car.
I was just about to say that.
Whatever, but I'll go back and
man,
put some.
that would be so horrible.
I'll go back and put something in there. Maybe I'll put it in the description. Like, don't listen with your kids.
We'll
I'll
say
put
it in the
top.
intro. We'll say it in the intro.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. That's a good yeah.
Because I would feel horrible if that happened.
I could just see like
Oh,
Heidi rolling
no.
down the road,
Oh,
going down with
no.
all of the kids, and I'm like, that stupid Santa Claus that doesn't exist really. But I think I'm lucky that my kids are very close to the same age like yours, where if Avery's 6 or 7 or whatever age that is, like Brody's only 1 year behind. So I only need to be like, Avery, you better shut your mouth for one more fucking year.
Yeah.
Like if you got like kids that are like 4 years apart where like one's 8 and one's 4, that's got to be tough. Like a little, like the 4-year-old running around, the 8-year-old's like, not true. Not
Yeah.
true.
That would, yeah. I mean, Mason and Amelia are 3 years, so yeah. I don't know what the age is. I don't remember what age I was when I figured that out, but
Parents in the chat, when do they stop believing? And I think it always gets ruined at school, I think.
mm-hmm.
Or like that older cousin. I think my older cousin ruined it for me.
Mine was at school. Actually, my teacher told me, and I was like, "What the heck?"
I'd be
home-
fired.
Oh, dude, came home, told mom, and mom was like, "Yeah, just kind of the same thing. Like, don't ruin it for your brother." Gave me this whole spiel. It was actually a good talk. I'm gonna probably use the same thing when Mason and Millie figure it out. But, yeah, dude, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't." It was such a shot to the chest when I figured that out. But, oh man, hey. Question.
Adam said 8. Adam said 8 or 9. Okay, so we got some years.
8 or 9. What grade is that?
9th grade. No, 5th grade. 5th grade.
8 or 9 is 5th grade.
Right, they go into first
They go into
at
kindergarten at 5.
or 4 or 5.
No, Mason's 4.
Okay, 4.
So 5, 6 is kindergarten.
6 is kindergarten.
7,
10
8's
is
first. 8, 9 second. So second or third
second.
grade.
Oh, okay. That shows what I
Sounds
know.
about right.
That shows what I know.
Oh man.
Would you have a question about? Because I have one more Christmas question before. I want to talk
No.
stocks.
Well, go do your Christmas thing because I was gonna throw something random on you.
Do you have a Christmas tradition that you do every single year?
Oh man. You know,
Like, do you like? I know what I'm doing on Christmas Eve for the next 10 years because my family's been doing the same Christmas Eve since I was born.
so we haven't really figured out our tradition yet.
Okay.
I guess one thing really that I have kind of taken from my mom and dad is when we put up the Christmas tree, it's like a full day thing. Make Christmas cookies. You put Christmas movies on the TV while you're putting up the tree and doing all this stuff. Another thing is like Christmas Eve night. My brother and my dad had got this thing. I don't know why I got kind of kicked out of it, but my brother and my dad had this like pact where they like, well, one of their favorite Christmas movies is Polar Express. So they won't watch it at all leading up to Christmas, and they save it every single year, and they only watch it once a year on Christmas Eve night. Even if they aren't with each other, they'll watch it on Polar Express, or they'll watch it on Christmas Eve night. And I mean, we've already watched like 3 times with the kids, so I'm kind of out of that.
I never even heard of it. I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Yeah.
You've never heard of Polar Express?
I thought it was a book, to be honest. Maybe I've been thinking about a movie.
Oh my gosh, bro, you've got to watch it. It's so good. Dude, they do like things here in town where they do like an actual Polar Express train ride where they like mimic the movie on a train in St. Louis or down, southern Missouri. And I mean, I'm surely they do something like that in New York.
Swear to God, I thought it was a book.
Well, it is a book. There is a
Oh.
Polar Express book, but there's a movie as well. So that's I mean, we don't really have any
Told you I'm the-
major like big Christmas traditions, no.
Christmas cards? For or against?
Well, this is our first year doing it.
When you told me that, I was shocked.
Why?
And I will say this. We just got it. It's a very cute card. Thank you, by the way. I'm actually kind of shocked how late it came. I was getting to the point where I was like, well, I guess we're not getting a Christmas card this year. Because you're so Christmas everything else. And your wife is like borderline a professional photographer. I'm shocked that you guys don't send Christmas cards.
No, we never have. That was our first one. It
We
was just something
let-
we didn't feel like we needed to spend money on, I guess. It was
Last
actually
year we did it.
Lindsay's idea.
Last year we did it for the first time. Never again.
Never again sending them out or never again taking the pictures.
Never again sending them out. And the one that was on my card last year, I took with my phone.
Well, how many did you send them out? How many did you send out?
Like 50. We did it right.
That's what we did. Around 50.
But I will back to like people getting you stuff. When your card came, Tara's like, shit, I knew it. We should have done it again.
Oh, yeah. No, we've gotten those for years, and Lindsay's always been like, we should do a Christmas card this year. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I got to go take pictures. We got to pay money to get these cards done and send them out. And
I told her last year and called me an asshole. I was like, if you want to do it, do it. I want nothing to do with it. I'm not stamping. I'm not licking envelopes. I'm not doing anything.
that's kind of what I did. Lindsay did it. Lindsay did it all. She
I was like, I'll write the check, whatever.
Yep. That's
But we didn't go get pictures. We literally used pictures from Mount the Year
yeah.
that I keep on a digital hard drive, and she took a bunch and he asked me to edit a few, so I edited some, did like this and the other thing, gave him back to her, and yeah,
Yeah, we
beautiful.
first year.
Can we stop talking about Christmas now?
Yeah, let's move on to something else. But so let me ask you this. I'm gonna
Okay.
throw something really random on you. We've never
like
done
random.
This. We've never done this before in an episode. So if you don't want to do it, that's totally fine. But we do have a pretty good voicemail.
We do?
Yeah.
Play it.
You want me to?
Yeah, play it.
Because it's pretty good. And when I heard it, I'm like, oh man. I had to
Just-
think about it for a little bit. So I can
Just hold it close to the mic because I don't feel bad. I don't feel like going. I'm not editing anymore, so I don't feel like going back and
Yeah,
forth.
no, it's fine. Oh crap! I gotta log in here.
What's up,
Hang on.
Bears Nation? What's up, Bears Nation? What's it about? Oh, you don't want to even tell me what's it about.
Just listen. Here it is. I just downloaded it.
Okay.
Alrighty. So
Your internet's
this-
crappy again tonight, by the way.
Huh?
Your internet's crappy again tonight. by the
Yeah,
way.
I know. They're probably down there streaming or something. So this voicemail comes from Colton.
Hey, this is Colton. Big fan of the show, but I had a question about Roth IRA and house hacking. So I have roughly 700 to 800 per month I could save. And I was wondering if I should max out my Roth and then put the rest in a savings account for the down payment, or if I should split it up more evenly so I can get into the house hack quicker. Thank you.
So the $700-800 he has is like not from a house. He's not in a house hack already.
No, like the after everything's paid for at the end of the month, he has $700-800 to use. So when I first heard this, I was like, "Oh, damn, this is a hard question."
Not for Brad.
Oh, it's so hard for me, man. So what's your answer? Not for Brad.
$550 is an expense for me until I max out my Roth IRA. It has to be. I will stand by this until something ridiculous happens.
So you think
I stand by. Go ahead.
So you think the Roth is up here, and you think real estate's kind of like right here, underneath.
If I didn't call it a Roth IRA, right, and I just said, "Hey, you give me some money. I'm going to give you 10% on your money every single year for the rest of your life, and you don't have to pay taxes on that ever. And if you die, you can give all of that money to your spouse, and she doesn't have to pay taxes on it either. And it can grow in her account tax-free forever. And if she dies, it goes to your kids. They have to take it out in a certain amount of time, but they don't have to pay taxes on it either. And the more money you give me, the more your 10% is going to grow. Can you say there is a safer, better option than tax-free growth in a long-term portfolio to set you up in retirement? Don't call it a Roth IRA. Just if you look at what it does, if you look at its rules, I've said it once, I'll say it again. It is the best investing vehicle on planet Earth. And if you think I'm lying, talk to somebody outside the United States that knows about our Roth. Talk to an investor outside the United States that knows about our Roth. Find one of them that says, I'm kind of good. We don't really need one of those in our country. There's real estate investing everywhere. And
bro,
I
mean,
know
you can kind of do the same thing with real estate, though.
Come on, you can't compare a real estate investment to a Roth IRA.
What?
No shot.
Bro. Dude, I can 1031 exchange till I die, and then my siblings don't have to pay taxes.
Right?
That's the power of real estate.
So
same thing.
So when I die, my wife calls up Vanguard, tells them I'm dead, asks for a death certificate, they transfer it, it's over. If you die, can your wife handle that 1031 exchange, finding another property, buying another property, and managing that property?
No, she could sell it. Sell it all.
So that's not a 1031 exchange.
No, it's the right of that's under my name. If it's I think it has to be siblings, where it doesn't have to be taxed. So it may not have
A
to
1031 exchange,
the
which
wife would
are
have to pay taxes on.
yeah.
But no, that's still again to say what I'm saying here. The amount of wealth you can build in real estate versus the amount of wealth you can build from a Roth IRA, two totally different spectrums.
If you surveyed 100 random people in the United States of America, how many of them do you think can successfully navigate a Roth IRA?
What do you mean?
If I took 100 random
If
people in
somebody
the
was
United
given
States
a
of
Roth
America,
IRA to manage.
Yeah.
I mean, successfully, I don't know. There's a lot of people that don't know how to do that stuff,
but like managing it,
like even if they had to hire somebody to manage it.
or even if they just put in an automatic $50 every week.
It's pretty easy.
Okay. If I took 100 random people in the United States of America and I said, go buy a real estate property that doesn't lose any money, how many people are going to be able to do that?
Not
I
many.
mean, I'm not downplaying the power of real estate.
Well, you're
Don't
asking
get
me
me wrong.
but you're asking me something that doesn't apply to his question.
He said, should he be
We're talking about Colton, who wants to get into real estate. We're not talking
Okay.
about the average American.
okay? And I'm saying to Colton that, okay, so let me ask you this. is there more risk in a real estate investment or a VTSAX? Come on, you could say it.
I don't think there's more risk in real estate. Because the amount of money you can make from real estate versus VTSAX is two totally different things. Dude, what I made in my first rental property from 2 years of owning it, it would take me forever to earn that amount of money from VTSAX.
Would you be saying the same thing if it was 2009?
And then if it was 2012, I would have made a shit ton more money in real estate versus VTSAX. A shit ton more money.
So you're saying before he should invest in his Roth IRA, he should save money for real estate property. That's your position.
So here's my answer, because I don't even think you and I have given an answer yet. Well, I think you said you would max out your Roth first, correct?
That is the first investment I'm going to make every single day of the week and twice on Sunday.
So I'm going to say I would maybe disagree with you on that. I don't think that's a bad decision. I'll say that.
Jay, I even tell people to invest in their Roth IRA while they're in debt.
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
That's how. Would you tell somebody to invest in a real estate property if they were in debt?
Yeah.
You would?
To house hack? Absolutely. Look at the Phi couple. They paid their student loans off because of house hacking.
A great example.
So, yeah, I mean, like, again.
I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm not saying 100% correct.
No.
That's a very good example.
Well, hang on. So, my
but
answer.
my position is they're a dime a dozen.
My answer will, I think, help clear the air a little bit. So, first, do I think maxing out the Roth IRA is a bad decision? Absolutely not. And I agree with you that the Roth IRA is one of the best investment vehicles out there. I do, along with real estate.
Okay.
What my answer is it's a very tough question to answer. Very tough question. But I also think it depends on where you're at in life. If you're Colton, you got a major expense and rent that's taking up a lot of your income. You got some debt, you need to take care of, and then you see this deal come up that is a house hack that can eliminate your housing expense. And let's say your rent was $1,500 a month, and then you can go buy this house hack, and now that's $1,500 a month richer you are from buying this house hack because it eliminates your housing cost. That is the power of real estate. And also, not only that, you can get into this house hack for 3.5% down. It can grow in appreciation. You can have the tenant paying for your living expenses while that debt's being paid down as well.
I know all the benefits of house hacking. I'm not arguing with you there.
Well, hang on, let me finish my answer.
Okay.
I think my answer would be it's tough because I would really like to know more of like his situation and like how his setup is, but I would not be opposed at all of doing half in Roth IRA and a half to save up for the house hack.
Can you use money from a Roth? Can you use contributions into a Roth IRA to put a down payment on a property?
Yes.
So instead of saving that money instead of saving money for a down payment, he could just invest in his Roth IRA until he finds this magical house hack that you're talking about.
Agreed.
So he should invest his money into the Roth IRA, max that shit out. Not financial advice.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with that, though. Let's say he invests all of his money in the Roth IRA, and then he finds a house hack, but when he goes to pull his money out, the stock market's crashed 40%, and he's lost 40% of his money he's put in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a risk
Investments come with risk. Right. Well, let's say he buys a house hack and
so why wouldn't you say
and the sewers blow and the roof falls in? There's risk in every investment.
Well, that happens. You got an insurance, but if the roof's falling in, you got some insurance that's gonna have to cover you. But
so if I'm just curious, like if you got, and I guess the Roth IRA is $550 a month right now. So
no, it's $500 a month.
$500 a month.
Yeah.
So if he has $700, you wouldn't go 5 and 2. You'd go half and half.
Again,
what I'm saying is,
depending on his
at the
situation.
end of the,
I'm also I love real estate though, man. Like I love after getting in a property and another one, and then also seeing what my personal property has done. Like, I see the power in real estate. I see the tax write-offs you can do. I see the depreciation you can apply to your property every year and save you in taxes. I see the amount of money you can earn in cash flow. I see the amount of money you can earn in appreciation. I see the amount of money that gets debt paid off by the tenants living in your property, and then it's buying you an asset. Like, real estate is one of the greatest investments out there.
And this is where we differ. You have both, so you can speak intelligently on both. I don't. So I can't speak intelligently on both. I don't have a real estate property.
Let me say this.
God knows I've been trying for well over a year. So that's another thing that's like in the back of my mind is like, to say you're just going to house hack is very easy to say.
True. Very true. Right. In this market, very true.
And the other thing that I think about is if you do half and half, right? And you get to April 14th and you haven't maxed out your Roth IRA. On April 16th, you lose that opportunity to contribute for that year. But you can buy a house on either one of those days.
And you can also pull your contributions out from Roth IRA,
At any
like you
time.
mentioned. But
At
again,
any
you're
time.
also at the risk of losing money in the stock market.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, there's risk. You buy a house tomorrow. My good buddy Lance Holman bought a house in 2006 for $500,000. 10 years later, he sold it for $350,000.
Yeah.
And he put another $100,000 into it. So I mean, we don't know, but we don't know anything.
That don't
Right.
sound right.
Yeah, I think it was 2006, and then it crashed. When did the housing market? 2008.
Well, yeah, but any house in 2021 should have sold way more than what it was.
No,
for
I said 10 years.
2006.
I said 10 years later, so 2016. Yeah, it hadn't bounced back yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
So what I'm saying is like, I'm just super conservative, and I'm thinking about ease, set it and forget it. There's nothing better than tax-free growth. Like,
But
yeah,
what
you're
if
talking about,
so let me
you're
ask you
talking
this
about
then.
depreciation and all these other things. Like,
Well, hang
that-
on. Let me ask you
those are
this.
things I don't know about.
What if you were renting at an expensive apartment in New York, and you had this huge expense every single month of $2,500, and you're like, oh man, I really need to get out of this. I got $2,500 going out every single month as an expense, but if I do
$3,500.
this, not only do I have an asset that's raising in value, that's paying me money, it's also let's say it almost eliminates my that $2,500 every single month.
Don't most real estate people say that you can't count on appreciation?
Say that
Like
again.
don't most real estate investors preach that
Yes,
you should not factor appreciation?
for sure. So let's move
Okay.
that out. Let's move that out.
Yeah,
of
so
the
take that out of the
equation.
equation.
So let's say you got the $2,500 you're paying out in rent every single month,
Mhm.
right? $2,500. Just think about that.
Right.
$6,000 is the max for a Roth.
Okay.
So if you go and do this house hack, then you could be able to eliminate potentially $2,500, even if it's $200 or $2,000, and you got to
Right.
still pay your $500 a month for living expenses. You still made a dramatic difference whenever you made that change to do the house hack. And then also you have an appreciating asset, but again, we're gonna nix that.
Right.
But you have an
It's
asset.
going to appreciate. I will concede that it's going to appreciate. I just don't want the
Well,
haters to be
no,
like,
I think
we kind of.
Well, what I mean by that is you have the debt pay down happening as well from the tenant living in that other unit. So
So you're growing equity. Let's use that
Absolutely.
word. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Every month you are definitely growing equity.
yes,
The best way to raise your net worth is to pay down debts.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah. So that again, do I think your way and my way there's like a right or wrong? No, I
No.
think either way, it's like paying off your mortgage. Like
Yeah.
it's one or the other. You're in a very good decision to make. It's all about
Right.
what works for you. You know,
Yes.
and do I think you're in the wrong if you do $500 towards your Roth and then you only put $200 or $300 towards the house hack? No, not at all. Am I think you're in the wrong if you don't invest in your Roth IRA at all and you go buy the house hack?
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think? Well, I said, can we at least concede the fact that we both agree? Maybe we don't. That some of that money needs to be like you should not end the year with a lot of money saved for a down payment and $0 in your Roth IRA.
I'm going to say this. I would skip a year to buy a house hack in the Roth.
Okay.
I would. I would
Because
skip a year.
Mike S. He just made a good point. He's like, save up to $6K in cash. If you don't find a great house hack on April
it in April
15th, max the
15th.
RI,
Yeah,
max
that's
out the
true.
Roth IRA.
Great point.
Man, it's hard for me. I think of like the Roth IRA as like the little sister that I never had. I'll defend it to the death. And then especially too, like I'm a backdoor Roth kind of guy, and hearing Joseph B want to eliminate the backdoor Roth as well as eliminating the 1031 exchange,
Right.
as well as allowing people to just not pay rent and saying that's okay because of the work that they lost 3 years ago due to COVID-19.
Let's tax
And-
unrealized gains while we're at it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's crazy, but I also, that's another reason that I really want to force into the Roth IRA is because with the way things are going, I don't know if the Roth IRA is going to be around in 3 years.
That would be a
And-
disaster.
We take advantage of the fact that the Roth IRA is a thing when it's only been around since what, the mid 90s, the Roth
Wow.
IRA?
No idea.
I think the mid 90s. So it's still in its infancy and it can go away just as fast. Financial Wolf's in the house. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Will. What's up, man?
Hey. So I mean, I don't know. Financial Wolf, do you invest in a Roth IRA? I'm curious to know that. I know his dad's like a CPA or an accountant, so I'm sure he's stockpiling money away for winter. And where he lives in Madison, Wisconsin, it's winter right
We need to get Will on the podcast. He has such a cool story.
now. I told him we're only doing it in person.
Yeah, we'll do
Well,
it. in
Will's
person.
he's got to come to New York and let you know, unless he wants to come down to Missouri. But he's been living in the sticks his whole life. I'm sure he wants to see the big city.
That'd be fun. We'll get him on.
Big city. Yo, SWBI. Tell me about it.
Ooh,
Is there-
Baby.
Is there a better value stock on the stock market right now?
I mean, maybe, yeah. And the reason I say that is because you got to think, man. Like Smith and Wesson is a great company. I own it. I'm a buyer in it. Do I think it's like the greatest company out there that's going to make me a shit ton of money? Absolutely not. I don't see Smith and Wesson growing to be a astronomical, huge company in the future. Do I think it will have steady growth, may hit some downs and ups and downs along the way? Sure. Do I think it's going to grow a lot? No. The reason
Dude,
for that,
I put in my spreadsheet that I posted in my video the other day at like 2% revenue growth over the next 10 years. They're still valued at like $23.
yeah,
$24. I think they were trading for 17 today.
Yeah.
I don't know. The biggest decision I have right now is like, how do I not? I'm pretty much gonna. I feel like I want to write a put for every single month for the next year at $15.
you could do that.
Everything about them. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
But I think, I was looking the other day, like their dividend costs them like 1/10 of their free cash flow.
It's literally like 5% is their payout ratio. It's insane.
That is not to mention their long-term debts is like 1/10 of their free cash flow for five. Like,
No
they-
short-term debt. They have no short-term debt. Zero.
and they have like $35 million in assets and like literally no debt.
It's crazy, man. And then they do have some expenses coming up that free cash flow will take a hit on the next 2
Their trailing
years.
12-month PE is like 3.
Yeah, it's insane, man. But here's another risk to think about. It is the firearms sector industry.
Yes.
There could
There's
be
sin
regulations
stock.
that. Yep. Well, there could be regulations that get hit down the road.
Right.
So that's a risk that I'm willing to take. But right now, I mean, I added money into my M1 Finance portfolio, and the only reason I put so much money in there is because I saw their dividend yield was at like a 2%, because they got hit so much. And what happened was, guys, if you're listening and you're interested in this, Smith & Wesson SWBI came out with earnings, and they had a miss on revenue, but I believe earnings came out ahead. I'd have to go back and look. I can't remember. I've been looking at so many freaking companies.
Dude,
But
if you look at like FBI background checks on handguns last year,
it's increased.
it was like, dude, it was exponential. Like the rise, it was insane.
Yeah, but it has decreased a little bit, and it probably will continue in 2022 unless something crazy happens again. With
But I think their price, yeah. But I think to get what you're saying, like their estimates, I think they were somebody that profited from COVID. I think they had a really good COVID year, which is kind of what drove that
absolutely.
stock up into the high 20s or whatever it was. Dude, right now at $16, $17,
I think it's a screaming buy.
I really do.
And
That's because of my due diligence, everybody. That's not because I'm like telling you to do it.
right.
It's
But
insane.
when you buy,
I'm waiting for Everything Money to make a video about them.
Well, when you
Because that will be the nail in the coffin. When Everything Money makes a video about them, that will be the nail in the coffin.
Well, you got to say this. I got to say this though. When it comes to a company like SWBI, I am not buying this for massive growth.
No,
They're
it's
not.
like almost like a blue chip dividend stock for me.
Yeah, they're not going to grow a lot. They're not going to be an Apple, a Microsoft, or something like that. They're just a good, consistent company I want to keep in my portfolio. It's going to pay me a nice little dividend that I hope they increase year over year, because they just initiated that dividend in 2020. So they're just now getting started paying a dividend, and I hope. Here's a couple things. Another reason why the price tanked so much was because of inventory. They had an increase in inventory because production. They also lowered production by 27%. I think it was, and again, it was because of coming off the highs of COVID and whatnot. But something else to think about too is, crap, I lost my train of thought here. With the increase with the decrease of production, they have a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines that they can do anything with. Tomorrow, Smith & Wesson can come out and say, I'm going to buy $10 million of stock buybacks.
Which they're doing.
They are. They
bought $150 million worth of stock in the last 2 years.
And earnings actually increased. That's what it was. Earnings increased because of the shares they were buying back.
Yeah, like
That's
their
what
EPS was like 30 when it should have been probably about 5.
Yeah, something like that.
But I'll take that. But that's what people need to understand when they're doing their own financials. Yeah, like the EPS was like 34 when it should have been, because they diluted their own shares. And they didn't dilute. I mean, they bought back their own shares.
Yeah.
And 18 wheels and a dozen 6 shooters said, like, I own Smith & Wesson. Look at the 5-year history. Pretty flat, a little bit of growth. The last year, a little bit of bloop, bloop, way up, way down. And if they were a non-dividend paying stock, I think that wouldn't look great.
Yeah.
Like if they didn't pay a dividend, they kind of look like AT&T right now. But as we're mentioning, as like a blue chip dividend play, long term, I mean, I think I could see them getting in the next 10 years to 30 to 50. That's kind of my play. I think in the next 10 years, if I can 2x my investment.
Yeah. Along with dividend increases.
With dividend increases, that's going to be the play.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for major growth here. I'm looking for
like
a
they're
consistent
not even
dividend
like a poor man's covered call for me or a leaps option kind of.
Right.
They're strictly a wheel stock for me.
Yeah, that would be a great wheel.
I would be comfortable holding a poop ton of that and trading the wheel.
Same.
Because it's gonna. Here's the beautiful thing about this being a wheel stock. Unlike many flat to slow growth or slow bear wheel stocks, this is going to have moments of volatility.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be affected by the news. It's going to be affected by reports and regulations and things like that, where you can hop on and get yourself a nice little wheel, and then boom, news hits, volatility changes,
Yes.
and you get yourself a nice little move. I'm not saying every month, but a couple times a year, I think you could really take advantage, stay kind of steady, and then just if they keep increasing that, it was 1.6. I think that's going to still go up. Obviously, Jay, as we know, if the share price goes up, that's going to lower the dividend yield. You're the dividend guy, but man, I thought Intel was the greatest dividend stock going, and then like SWBI, like in the back of the room was like, we're $16 right now. We're $16, and I was like, oh my God.
Can I tell you
I'm
this?
pumped on that, man.
Well, I think there may be a better dividend play.
Hold on, one last thing before we get to that, because somebody did just mention like the hesitation. There is risk in everything. Like Alibaba has the Chinese risk, right? Neo has a Chinese risk. Guys, we have been trying to regulate firearms in this country for a very, very long time. Unfortunately, for the people that want to regulate firearms, it is our Second Amendment right to carry and bear arms to protect ourselves. So the only regulation that would really bring me great fear is if they amended the Constitution of the United States.
That would.
And I'm not debating guns with people. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that. That's not what this is about. What my opinion is on guns themselves, that has no bearing on this conversation whatsoever. Because first off, I don't own any Smith & Wesson weapons. I never will. I am a SIG guy. But what I will say is that the regulation part doesn't fear me away from the investment. It really doesn't. And kind of like if you take a cigarette company, like I'm not worried about a cigarette company necessarily because people are not smoking. They're going, if they're a blue chip and they have all this money and they have all this cash flow and their profit margins are good, they're going to find ways to make money. And I think as long as the Second Amendment holds true, there's going to be a market. And we see that market through all this regulation. We still see an increase in FBI background checks on handguns every single year for the last 15 years. These regulations are not new. That's just how I feel. And like I said, this is not a gun debate. I'm not for or against guns. I'm just saying I'm very for the public traded company.
You're not
Smith &
for
Wesson.
or against guns? Come on now.
Not on this
I will
podcast.
easily say I'm for guns. I mean, look at my freaking background.
They can leave that comment in the reviews and like, I am not biting that bullet, if you know what I mean. I'd rather people just know me and be able to make their own educated decisions without me saying it. But
I'm a proud gun owner.
but I'll tell you this. My buddy across the street hates guns. And I don't judge him for it. I don't care. Because you want to know what? Shit hits the fan. I know where he's running to.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know, just like I'm not a doomsday prepper and I make fun of him, but if we run out of food, I'm going down his basement because I know that he has 100 pounds of dry rice.
You guys would be a great team.
Exactly. You bring over the rice, I got the ammunition, we're good to go. But all right, you have a better dividend play. You just claim that you have a better dividend play. I'm not saying Smith & Wesson is the best dividend play. I'm just saying they're the best value stock right now. But what's a better dividend play?
I really like ATVI.
I got a full disclosure here. I was on the phone with Aaron Azevedo the other day, and I was pretty much feeling like a loser on YouTube about all the stocks that people talk about that I really have no effing idea about. And we were talking about value and value stocks and things like that. And one of the stocks I brought up was Activation Blizzard. And I'm like, because he's also very for Activation Blizzard as well. So I wasn't like knocking you, I was asking him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what is it about Activation Blizzard? Here's what I know, because I'm going to give full disclosure. So I don't sound like I'm like a professional, know what the F I'm talking about. As far as I know, they are a company that makes addictive games and apps for your phone.
No.
Am I right?
No, way more than that.
Okay, tell me.
So Activision Blizzard, some of their major, most popular franchises, Call of Duty.
They own Call of Duty.
Yeah. World of Warcraft.
Another popular game.
Candy Crush, which is their highest performing, growing.
Used to be addicted to that game.
There's so Candy
People
Crush.
still play that game? People still play that game?
Yeah, apparently. So Candy
That didn't fade away with Angry Birds?
No, it didn't. I love Angry Birds.
It was that game was
Oh my gosh.
2448, still my most addicting game ever. Do you ever play that?
No.
Don't download 2448. 2048, 2448, I think. Don't download it.
But Candy Crush is a franchise under their like mobile game app. I can't remember the name of it right now, but that's like their fastest growing portion of the business. They also have games like Diablo, Overwatch, and they have a whole bunch of different games they come out with. Here's why I love ATVI so much. The creative first, the community around ATVI. Now they're going through some internal personal issues with sexual assault and whatever. I think that's, they need to get that figured out. That's why the stock's down so much right now. But I think that's bringing an amazing buying opportunity for ATVI because of what's going on in the short term. Because I've seen this happen so many times in stocks where like something internal will happen, and then people are like freaking out. Oh my God, the business is that's what's happening in ATVI right now. That's my opinion. Peloton,
go ahead.
Yeah, so Peloton and ATVI I think are two totally different companies. Although I do like Peloton, but yeah, man. I mean, I also think ATVI is a very small but a potential good play for the metaverse. And I know you're not big on the metaverse thing, but I do think the metaverse is coming. And you did say you agree with it. I'll take that back.
I'm for the metaverse.
So I think ATVI has a good play in the metaverse in the future.
Do they make money now? Are they profitable?
Oh yeah, profitable.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Awesome.
Their net margin is 30%.
My thing with Doodle Jump. Oh my gosh, that Doodle Jump was so addicting.
Hey, can you talk for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5.
Well, okay, not 5, but like 2 minutes. I really gotta pee.
One. Now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay.
One of the things that really makes me nervous about this video game space is I don't play video games, so I might be completely speaking out of my ass right now. But I teach 17 and 18-year-olds, and a lot of them are very, very into video games. And I know Call of Duty. He mentioned Call of Duty and Diablo. I don't think Diablo. Do people play that anymore? I know people play Call of Duty. But my biggest fear is like, look how fast Fortnite came in and came out. And I just think that when I said that I knew them as like an addictive game company, like say Candy Crush or whatever, I went hard on the paint on Candy Crush. Like phone dying every single day, playing Candy Crush on the couch until 11 o'clock, phone dies, got to go to bed. Car rides, my phone would die playing Candy Crush, and then I couldn't. But then again, 3 years later, I don't miss any of that time in my life. Same thing with like Fortnite. Like Fortnite was everything for 17-year-olds. Girlfriends were breaking up with boyfriends. They didn't care. Girlfriends were dating boys because they liked games, and it was a nightmare for teenagers. Now, a year later, I'm like, if I brought up Fortnite in class, it would be like trying to explain why Nirvana is a really, really good band. They'd be like, no, like it's not like that anymore. And that's just my biggest fear with ATVI. And maybe it's also too that I'm not really ready emotionally to like get on board with another like growth stock. I maybe don't have any more room for growth stock in my life. I'm so focused on like Vuzi and Tattoo Chef and other things like that. And I think, Jay, that you are definitely more, I'm not against growth stocks, but I think you're definitely more looking at growth plays, and whether that's your age or 10 years younger than me, I just don't see a real need for another growth stock. Right? Are you considering ATVI a growth stock? Because you said they're a dividend play.
No, I think they're a dividend growth stock.
What's their dividend? What's their like? How are they a new stock? What is this?
No, they're
how old are they? I mean, Candy Crush is 10 years old, right? So
yeah, I mean, Activision Blizzard was a merger. Activision merged with Blizzard. So their dividend yield is less than 1%, so it's a little low. It's like 0.8%, 0.9. Actually, here, let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, I was talking about like how Fortnite came in and out, and that's my biggest fear with gaming companies. And Turbo Kid makes a good point, like Halo, Call of Duty, like these are definitely brands Like,
Yeah.
but I beg to say, and you guys can tell me I'm wrong for all the gamers out there. I remember when things like Madden, NHL, Tiger Woods golf, like those games, I thought people would buy every single year for the rest of time. Do
mean,
people still buy Madden stuff?
Madden's still pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm disconnected from the video. And that's another reason why too, because
Yeah.
Warren Buffett said, invest in what you know.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against Activation Blizzard. I really don't. But I only have a certain amount of time and energy to do due diligence. And I don't think people understand how much due diligence we do on companies, that I don't know the video game space. I don't have time to learn it.
Yeah.
So if I was to invest in Activation Blizzard, it would strictly be because JJ likes it a lot. And guys, this is a great example of how JJ and I can both have strong feelings about certain investments and be best friends and talk every single day and not be invested in the same thing.
Right.
Because I am not willing to invest in a company. JJ also loves Palantir. I am not willing to invest in a company just because my best friend does.
Right.
Just because he talks about it in videos.
Likewise
watched
with
it.
Uzi.
I watch the videos and exactly, like, I am a fanboy of Uzi. JJ doesn't invest in Uzi. He's watched my videos about it. But besides watching a YouTube video, we know that it takes hours of due diligence to really be committed. I think there's more time that goes into the commitment of a growth stock. You know, if it's not a blue chip, there's definitely some more due diligence. But I don't know the video game space, and I never claimed to be. And this is why I'm not really into NFTs. I haven't gotten into NFTs because I'm not into art. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. I'm not
And Marco from Whiteboard Finance, his post today about NFTs pretty much summed it all up for me. If you haven't seen that post, but what you were just looking up some, what were you looking up?
Yeah, no, their dividend yield is 0.8% currently. Their payout
Right in
ratio,
line with dividend growth.
payout ratio is 14%. The only downfall for some people, it's not a downfall for me, but the only downfall for some people is their dividend only gets paid out once a year.
Really?
Yeah, it's an annual dividend payout. So can I be honest
Are
with
they
you
in,
real
are
quick?
they in your M1 portfolio?
They're my Fidelity portfolio.
Okay.
The only reason I probably won't put them in M1 is because I own them in Fidelity, and I don't plan on getting rid of them out of Fidelity because I'm so invested in them right now. I own 100 shares. My average cost is at like 80, I think, 82. And they're trading at like $58. It's my worst performing stock in my portfolio.
Worse than Baba? Worse than
It's
Wish?
pretty close.
Wish?
Pretty close.
Wish is pretty bad.
Yeah, but Wish is like $900. I mean, it's not a lot of money, But yeah, I mean, percentage wise, yeah, it's pretty close.
See, like, you have ice in your veins, man. You are sheesh. Like, you have a couple of positions, and I know that you're bullish on them, and I know that you see them as great buying opportunities.
Hold up, Wish is a complete gamble play
Okay.
because it's
So we'll separate that from Baba and from Activation Blizzard.
Baba. I'm getting more on
Really?
because of the.
Dude, you're like the spokesman for Baba. You can't back down.
I would definitely not say I'm the spokesman for Baba, but I own 30 shares of Baba. I can't say I'm no way.
Maybe you're my spokesman.
That's probably better.
Bruce Wang stopping in the house tonight. Bruce,
What's up, man?
do you still make YouTube videos, bud? Are you still on YouTube? Speaking of real estate, that's the guy. We should propose that question to him. We'll have to get on the horn with him and ask him.
But no, man, like, so what I'm wanting to do in my Fidelity portfolio, which it's totally going against all my rules, but I can't pass it up right now. I really want to write a cash accrued put on ATVI. And right now, ATVI is like 8% of my entire portfolio of Fidelity. Fidelity is like a $60,000+ portfolio.
So what's your reservation on writing the put?
The amount of ownership I have in ATVI versus my entire portfolio, like, it makes up 8 to 9% of my entire portfolio. That's a lot of percentage in one company. And ATVI, I mean, they're a great company, but they also don't have a huge moat. They really don't have a huge moat. So that's a risk and a worry. But I'm also like, could ATVI go down the 40s? Absolutely. Absolutely. Could easily go down in the 40s. It's got a
I feel like all those companies are just waiting to be bought by a bigger company now.
No, ATVI is pretty big, man. They got a market cap.
Are they acquiring other companies? Are they eating up small and gaming companies?
So they're a market cap of $46 billion. It's pretty big.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
But listen to this. Let me just throw some stats of you at ATVI. Let me try to act like I'm trying to get you to invest in ATVI. Net margin 30%. It's amazing.
For that.
It's amazing.
For video games. I mean, I'm sure they're doing a lot of R&D, but go ahead. What do you think their marketing budget is? Shit.
I don't know. I mean, it can't be like
Dude, when you're a gamer, you have to put yourself in front of everybody.
No, but but they gotta think about this though, man. They got a built-up community already, a loyal fan base who's gonna buy a new upgrade, new game, no matter what.
They're gonna buy Call of Duty every single time.
Absolutely. So
I'm for that.
another.
But let me ask you this: but as video games go down, as video games become more digital, like here's how much I don't know about video games. I go to my brother's house. And he's like, "Oh, I want to play a game." I'm like, "I'll watch you play because I don't mind. I'll sit on the couch and drink beers and watch people play Call of Duty. I think it's dope, but I'm not trying to play." But you don't put the game in the freaking thing anymore.
All like you can.
But it's all like it's all digital.
Yeah, you buy it. It's just like buying music online.
Right now, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Well, hang on. Let me read some of these stats off to you.
Go. Okay.
Debt to equity ratio of 0.2. Current ratio, I like to see 1.5 or higher. Just take a guess. Yeah. Take a guess.
I don't know, man.
Just take a random guess.
What am I evaluating again?
The current ratio, the current assets divided by the current liabilities, which is like a short-term basis of what.
Yeah. They probably have no debt.
Their current ratio is 5.6. They do have debt, but 5.6. That's like Google numbers.
They have 6 times the amount of assets liabilities.
Short-term assets versus short-term liabilities. We already talked about the dividend. Earnings per share growth. In the past 3 years, the average is 65%. Go out even a little farther. Past 5 years is 24%. Let's see, what else can we look at here? PE is at 17, 18.
Not bad.
So
not bad.
Again, it could go a little lower though.
Are they considered a tech stock? What sector are they in? Consumer goods?
Consumer services or communication services. Their industry is electronic gaming and multimedia.
Okay.
I'm a big fanboy of ATVI. I am.
Yeah.
So I need to save up some cash in the Fidelity portfolio. That's what I'm doing right now, and I hope, honestly, I hope they're down lower by the time I get $6,000 saved up, and I can write that cash you could put at $55 or $50.
Remember those days when we used to think that we wanted more money to go on vacations and buy cool shit and cars and stuff like that? Now we want more money so we can write cash car puts.
It's crazy, man.
I just want to write puts all day.
And yeah, I agree. I just want to see a crash. I want to see like a 40% correction. Or I mean, that wouldn't be a correction. That'd be a crash. But
let me ask you something off the record, but we're on the record because we're recording this. How much percentage do you want to crash because you want everything at a discount versus you want to trim some fat in the YouTube space?
Oh, I mean, to be honest, man, like I would say I'm more on the I want a discount.
Do you want to trim any fat in the YouTube space?
I mean, honestly, man, like again, I get where you're coming from, and like I know what you're getting at. There's definitely some stuff out there going on that's like a little sketchy. But I'm also a believer in the free market, and the free market will decide on what happens.
I agree with you.
Here's one thing I hate about YouTube though, is they favor the hype, the speculative, the sexy, the crazy stuff going on to her. And if you make a video about index funds, it ain't getting no love. No.
So don't hate the player, hate the game. You don't hate on YouTubers making crypto growth stocks next 10x, blah blah blah.
Do you
hate on you hate on how YouTube promotes certain value.
You nailed it.
Yeah, I'm the
dude,
same
I'm not, like
way.
I said, I'm not gonna hate on the guys that are making the
Like even like Bruce,
though
Bruce, if he's still in here, like his channel is super valuable. Marco's channel, super valuable. Now it's hard to say that like Marco doesn't get any love when he has like 100,000 subscribers, but he's been doing this a long time, and his videos don't get viral hits like a lot of people do. And I think Bruce would say the same. But those are the people that I learned from on YouTube. You know, those are the people like I never knew about dividend trackers and stuff like that before watching Bruce's video, and then I found out how much he paid for that damn tracker, and I'm like, why don't you have JJ's dividend tracker for $99 a year, you silly goose?
silly
know?
goose.
You silly goose. Like I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Yo, thanks for the cameo today in my video.
Tried.
You did a good. You met and exceeded my expectation.
Boom.
You had Peloton up on the background of your screen. I just caught that. I don't think anybody else did.
Probably not, but it's worth it. It was worth it.
I'll say it was so fun to do that. Like I did it with my kids. It was annoying, like moving lights around and things like that. But it was fun, man. It made me think about like if I was a full-time YouTuber and my kids and stuff and nobody was in the house all day and I could just like film little like clips of me
Oh,
like running
dude.
around the house and doing stuff.
Couldn't imagine. Dude,
Like,
you running
but
down. Hang on, let me say this. First, I don't laugh out loud at videos a lot. So when I laugh out loud, I know it's really funny. When you sent me the final, well, first, even when you sent me the first video when I wasn't even included yet, you like running down the stairs and looking at the computer going, oh, like, I was dying.
No,
Dying.
it's fun, but like
Pre-rolls are
filmmaking-
juicy. What?
So I threw off my sheets. But did you notice like I went full nines? Like I even downloaded sound effects like the whoosh of turn. That wasn't real. The stairs was actually me because I'm a fat fuck coming down the stairs. I was like, that was actually me. And the only thing I'm mad about is I should have got the typing sound effect.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
click,
yeah.
But man, I give filmmakers a lot of.
Oh, dude.
The only quote B-roll I've ever done is like when I'm recording and I like go to story blocks and I like take something and put it in the video. But like the amount of times, and I'm like a Matt Diavella fan, and he's always talking about filmmaking. He's like,
Oh my
always
gosh.
film. He's like, always film what you're doing like a couple times. So the amount of times I did like, and then I got back into bed and I had Avery yelling action, and that's why I put that at the end of the video for anybody that I'm pretty sure that only about 2 people watched till the end because there wasn't a lot of comments on how good Avery and Brody did saying action. Now you need to go back and watch the end, but like the amount of times we did it, and Avery's like, "We're doing it again." Like sitting down at the
Too.
computer, I did it a bunch of times where like I was trying to look frantic, but I like the entry, like getting into my chair, and then editing that.
Oh, yeah.
So like I filmed all of that stuff. In retrospect, I probably should have filmed it after I did the voiceovers and stuff, or after I filmed the video, so I could have timed it a little better. But man, that 40 seconds took me like almost 2 hours to edit and film.
Isn't that crazy?
40 seconds. Where it's usually like I sit down in front of a video and I record for 18 minutes and then
Yeah.
I edit for an hour and it's out. You know?
Yeah, like my Hawaii video took me forever to edit because
Yeah.
of adding like B-roll and stuff in there. Like, yeah, when you have that stuff, it's just such an extra. Like, dude, that's why I give props to like guys like Andre Jick. Like,
Dude.
he made a video on Instagram the other day showing his like process of making a video. It took him like 2 full days to make a
Really?
video. Yeah, it was unreal. He did a time lapse and he was like showing a clock, like going like this, and then he was showing like. He was saying like it showed him filming or it showed him prepping the video. So he'd go through, he'd prep the video, it took him out however many hours, and then it showed him filming the video, the first section of the video, and then he'd move over to the other spot. He was like, all right, so this is the second section, and then he'd go, okay, now it's time to film B-roll. So he'd start like doing things with his hands and the magic stuff he does. So like that was like the third section of filming, and then once
Did he
that
post that on you? That was on YouTube?
No,
'Cause
it
I
was
would
on
love to see
Instagram.
that.
Instagram.
Oh man, I hope he saved that.
So then he goes into the editing process and he's like, all right, first draft edit, just get through and like edit everything down to the speaking portion. Second draft, edit, add in B-roll footage. Third draft, edit, re-edit everything. And just dude, it was literally 48 hours or something that he spent on one video. I'm like, holy shit. Sometimes I put out videos and it took me less than an hour. And it gets me 250,000 views. No, granted. And Andre Jick, I'll give the guy props. His channel, his video, everything is blown up, and that guy deserves it because
I remember being on a mastermind call with you, and you guys talking about it when he had 50,000 subscribers, and you guys were all like, production quality is insane. This guy is going to explode, and he went, yeah. I don't know how they do it.
I could.
Well, you don't know how they do it. They don't have kids.
Yeah.
They're super creative. Creativity is that's the other thing.
I will say
too,
this, dude. Well, you're right.
hard.
Creativity is definitely a big thing, but also kids definitely makes it harder to be a YouTuber. Because, dude, there's sometimes I'm up here. Today was a rough day. I text you. I was like, dude, I'm swamped. I haven't even got the video live updated yet. There's been times where I'm like, damn, dude, I could stay
and even
up
just a
until
mess.
12
I want to film in my living room and come down and change the set, but there's freaking Avery's underwear everywhere, and there's a toy, and I'm
Kids
tripping
are
on blocks, and there's a Lego. Even if they're not home, my house is in constant disarray.
Yeah.
And Robin, thank you, Robin, for acknowledging that I said I pressed the asshole button. We call it the FU button. I didn't want to say that in the video, but then, and guys, full disclosure, that literally is what happened. I had my grandmother's.
Legit.
I had my grandmother's funeral the night before, and I did not go to work on Friday because I was taking bereavement. And my wife went to school. She took the kids, so I was able to sleep in that day. And Jay called me at 9:45 in the morning, and I was sound asleep after staying out all night with my uncles.
Here's Brad. Ready? What's up, man? Oh yeah. I'm like, bro, dude, it's fucking 10 o'clock. What are you doing? Oh man, late night out. I feel like a fucking ton of bricks, man. I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit how you feel. Peloton's down 20-30% right now.
And I was like, premiums.
Yeah, wait,
tell me more.
Oh my god, dude, it's so funny.
Wow, man. What an episode.
Almost 2 hours. That's fine, whatever.
Yeah, bro, we're just the Average Money Podcast. I will say, as we wrap this up, and then Jay can kind of say some things that we really haven't said in a while. Please, if you're listening on Apple or you have access to an Apple device, even if you're not an Apple listener, you're listening to this on Spotify or something else, please, guys, we're moving up the rankings pretty quickly. We're at that threshold where we don't have a beginner amount of reviews, but we don't have a lot. Every review bumps us up. That is the only way that Apple ranks podcasts. It has they don't rank it by downloads. They rank it by how many reviews. Not clicking the 5 stars, but writing out a review.
Yes.
Guys, that is more powerful to this podcast than I can ever tell you. I listen on Spotify. I'm not going to lie. But if your friend has an iPhone or something, or you're sitting around, guys, it would mean a lot. It would really, really mean a lot. And we haven't really said that in a while. Also, too, guys, visit the website. Let's get some hits on that website. We'd like to one day make some money off of maybe ads on that website. And to qualify for that, you need to have a certain amount of people visiting the podcast. That would really, really, really mean a lot to us. I think the Christmas episode that we're going to film is not going to be public. It's going to be for our Discord members only, because we're going to get weird. We're going to open up a Zoom chat. We're going to get everybody in there. So if you're not a member of the Discord, maybe just for this month, if you want to be a part of the Christmas party, that's going to be awesome. We still have Average Money merch that's in the description. Aaron Azevedo was busting my chops the other day that I don't wear it enough. I need to start wearing it more. I just have so many clothes, but really too. And then the last thing I really want to say that's super humbling is we reached a record amount of downloads last Monday. And not by a little bit. And we don't know if it was that the Spotify posts of people showing us love and showing us how much and posting that on social media. The reason I tell you that is that I think that was a major contributing factor, because it wasn't a record by a little bit. It was a lot. So if you're listening to the Average Money podcast and you have somebody that you think might be interested in listening to the podcast, you know, maybe I said not for me, but just for the growth and the education that we hope to bring and we want to bring, let your friends know. You know, like maybe give us a post, you know, add us on social media. We always like to share. JJ's on there on Instagram more than me, but I'm pretty sure that if you at Average Money on Instagram, he's going to get back to you.
Yeah.
And, you know, thanks for letting us be us. Thanks for letting us, you know, share our story, talk about things that affect our lives, good, bad. I needed this. I said to Jay before we went live today, I did not have a great day. I had a pretty stressful day at work. And as Jay has mentioned many times, Wednesday nights have become one of my favorite nights of the week. And I look forward to the Christmas party when we can get on Zoom and I can talk to some of the people that are here in the chat every single week, supporting us every single week with super chats, with love, with questions, with voicemails. As we approach this holiday season and we really reflect and look back, not to be emotional, it means the fucking world to me. So thank you so much, guys. Jay, do you have anything else before we get out of here?
I mean, you pretty much nailed it, man. I mean,
follow that up, bitch.
Yeah, no, seriously. No, I will say, like, if you guys, because I do get messages all the time about, like, dude, love the podcast, found you on the podcast. You know, they don't know we have YouTube channels or whatever, and which is awesome to hear. I love hearing that people are organically starting to find Average Money. What I do want to kind of piggyback on what you're saying is I hear a lot of people when they reach out that's like, dude, I've learned so much. You guys give so much value, which is the whole reason for this podcast, because we want to spread the word of personal finance and getting ahead with finances. That's the whole reason why we started this podcast. All we ask in return, as like what Brad said, is if you can help grow this podcast to help get that knowledge out there to other people, which in return is going to help us grow as a podcast as well and become more successful, because that's what we're trying to do. Share it with a friend. Share it with a family member. Christmas holidays are coming up, or whatever you celebrate. Just drop Average Money real quick. Hey, check out Average Money. But also, like Brad said, leave those reviews, because, guys, that really does help. And we don't really do this much, Brad, do we? We don't really ask for favors or anything like that. But I will say,
we're not asking for us either. We're asking because
just to get the word out.
Yeah. I mean, granted, guys, this is hopefully going to be a job and a career for us one day. But I think the people that are listening now in the early stages know that we want to do that through building a team, and we want everybody to rise up with us. And we clap when people win. And right now we're in a situation where we can't really bring in people to clap. I mean, to clap for yet, because we don't make any money. That's for damn sure. But I mean, no, but we know that one day that we can really, really make something great. I think that's what really Jay is trying to get to.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. This was a long one. If you stayed till the end on whatever streaming you're listening to on Monday, get in the Discord and say hogwash poopycock. Leave a comment in the Discord. That's how I'll know that you listened this whole time. Hogwash poopycock. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you're at. It's such a fun word to say. I got hogwash poopycock. Have a good night, guys. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Average Money Podcast. In this episode, full disclosure, spoiler alert, do not listen to this episode if you have your kids in the car. We are going to be talking about the holiday season and certain things about the holiday season and certain things that adults know about the holiday season. So please, if you're heading to work and you have your kids in the car, turn them off. This is a not for kids episode, at least the first half.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about Christmas, buying gifts for people, how we handle family, how we handle people getting us gifts that we didn't expect. How do we handle people being overly generous, or, you know, us feeling like we have to get something for somebody? Not so much the spending part, but we definitely want to break down traditions and things that go on in our life with siblings and how we handle in-laws, grandparents, kids, wives, spouse, the whole nine. We're going to break down Christmas for about the first half of the episode. second half of the episode, we are going to dive into what we love the stocks. We're going to talk about what Brad says is the best value stock in all the stock market. I think JJ kind of agreed. And speaking of JJ, if you're new to this podcast, my name is Brad Finn, and here's JJ. Here's JJ with us. How you doing, bud?
Here I am. What's up?
Here you are.
I'm here. No, we also threw something random in the podcast today too. We listened to a voicemail, and
Right.
if you guys want to leave a voicemail, if you want to ask the average Joe boys, guys, whatever the hell you want to call it, it's sounding kind of weird. A question financially.
Hey,
whatever.
hey, Joe, boys.
Hey, average Joe boys. Average Joe boy. Oh, it's horrible.
2-hour podcast, guys.
Oh,
we're
my
doing this
gosh.
after the podcast. We're having a great time tonight.
But no, seriously, I threw a voicemail on Brad during the episode too. That's
Yeah.
probably why this thing's like 2 hours long. But
We
you know, we haven't done a voicemail in a while, so I wanted to throw it on him. And if you guys do have questions for us, leave us a voicemail. There's a link down below in the show notes, description, however you're listening to us. But we do. I would say today's episode is a whirlwind of everything. Stocks, Christmas, voicemails, coffee. We talk about coffee, and if
got it
that's
all in.
bad, oh my goodness,
It's
enjoy
pronounced it's pronounced coffee, by the way.
coffee.
Coffee. by the
Coffee.
way. All right,
I'm
buddy.
from New
Hey,
York.
I'm from New York. All right, guys. Let's dive right into this week's 2-hour episode.
Good luck. Jeez, man.
Good for us.
Oh my goodness. That's like
Break
a
it.
Joe Rogan experience.
Guys, I'm telling you, I used to, before we just started going freeform, I said to Jay, like, I used to look at the clock like every 10 minutes, like,
Mhm.
got to get to an hour. We got to get to an hour. Now I look at the clock and it's like 20-minute bricks. I'm like, oh my God. Like the Christmas thing, we went on for like 40 minutes about that shit.
Way too long, but that's all right. It's fun. It's a podcast, dude.
Well, the last 3 weeks, downloads on Monday have been going like this.
I know.
So,
Christmas
So?
coffee voicemail stocks is what I labeled this one.
that's a lot.
It's a lot.
I'm labeling this 12-8. Brad. Dade coming in with the super chat.
No way.
Super chat, another great one.
Dade, are you coming to
hi-
the Christmas party?
He said he had his 20-week appointment today. Holy shit, man. You are
20
almost
weeks.
halfway there. You are almost halfway there. So Dade
Wow.
coming in 20 weeks, just wanted to pay I was forward for a little time. Thank you. Dade, if you're not in the Discord, let me know. That $5 super chat, I'll throw you in there.
There you go.
Please. Send one of us a DM. We'll get you an invite and we'll do that. Jacob, what's up, man?
And real
Make the long
quick,
episode. Yeah. go ahead.
and real quick, I'm gonna send a quick prayer out to Dade and his wife and future family. So
Cheers.
shout out.
Yeah, man, halfway. Isn't it so fucking weird that our whole lives we're taught to think that pregnancy is 9 months when it's not even like a little more. It's over 10
I
months.
think you said like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
I did say that.
Yeah,
It still blows my mind.
I still haven't thought
Like-
about it. It hasn't really gone through my mind yet.
Like 42 weeks.
How do
is
you know that
o-
though?
How do I know that 42 weeks is a gestation period of a human? I've had 2 of them. Well, Tara had them.
I'm trying to think of when Lindsay's been officially pregnant.
42 weeks.
I
man,
guess I never
10 months.
did the math. I don't know.
I asked my
Excuse
brother
me.
who did I asked my brother who did like pediatrics and stuff. He said because a lot of times, they consider like, okay, we're pregnant, like you're able to officially test for it roughly 4 weeks in or so. So they discount, they estimate the first 4 to 6 weeks essentially.
Oh wow.
Because like right when you go for your first one, they're like, when was your last period? And then they go by a certain time off of that. So like your conception, I don't know, but it's 42 weeks is more than 10 months, man. So Dade, you thought you were in for 9 months. You're in for 10. You're in for 10. You're halfway there. She's feeling good. It's going to get really weird soon, I promise, but
Yeah.
you can handle it.
You'll be all right, dude.
And then depending on if she breastfeeds, remember this is a lot of first time dads don't realize this. If she's going to breastfeed, you have a designated driver for an extended 6 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. That was
That's true.
the dream come true. And then
Hey,
Tara got pregnant right. What?
We got another super chat.
Samuel.
Samuel coming in. Cheers to the record number of downloads. I got 5 on it. I got 5 on it.
I'll take a shot of whiskey for that.
Yes, sir.
I'm almost done with this bottle.
Cheers.
If Hun was here, I'd probably finish it tonight.
We haven't seen Hun in a while. Ooh.
Let's go half on a sack.
Jesse
asked about Visa. Some people have been asking about Visa. What did they take a shit or two?
They've been down like the 190s, bro. So if you're in my Discord, you know.
What do you think? What do you think? Finish it?
I mean, yeah, you're gonna finish it, yeah. Wait and see if we get another super chat.
Give me $1. Give me $1 off there. Get $1. No,
Dollar.
I sound like I feel like a hooker when I'm asking for beers for shots.
No,
Money
you're
for
like that
shots.
homeless guy when I was in New York. Got
Who's
it? Got a dollar, bro? You got a
$1.
rap. You got a freaking rack on you right now, Jesse. So in my Discord, I announced this like honestly, it's been a while actually. I sold when Visa was at like 220. I don't own Visa anymore. Did you get it? Nice. Ooh.
The end of the bottle's always spicy.
I am no longer a Visa shareholder. Again, like I said, I have to look it up. I'm like probably sold like 220,
Either am I.
215.
Date I finished it. Can I go grab a beer?
Do that and then I gotta go pee again.
Did you break the seal?
Yeah.
Stop uploading episodes. Your internet is garbage today.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's true. I should probably stop that.
Talk Visa because I want to talk Visa.
I'm gonna cancel it. I mean, I really don't have much to say about Visa, to be honest, though. So Jesse, to answer your question, I'm not buying more Visa. I sold out of the position. I could go look it up and see where I'm at, or when I sold it. But the reasoning for me selling out of Visa. So I have been really trying to lower the amount of holdings I have in my Fidelity portfolio. So I had roughly 9 to 11 holdings, I think it was, in Fidelity. And I want that to be an index fund based portfolio, meaning I'm trying to get VTI to be built up around 50 to 75% of the overall amount, of Dade, yes you are, of my percentage weight of my percentage of equity in the portfolio of Fidelity. So got rid of that. There is a couple other stocks I'm trying to get rid of. One of them is a penny stock I've been owning for a while, is Parks America. I have no problem in keep holding it if it doesn't come up to I'm down in the position. I'm down like $300 or so. I'm fine holding that until it comes back up. Once it comes back up to break even, I'm getting rid of it. And I have about, I think, $1,800 invested in that company. I'm going to turn around and stick that right back into VTI. So that's kind of my thought process with the Fidelity account. The Fidelity account is going to be a couple long-term dividend growth plays. And then majority of Fidelity is going to be, again, VTI, but not accounting for that. Majority of Fidelity will be some will be some growth stocks. Dade asked if you should go grab some cores. Yeah, go grab them.
Never spill a course.
So that's kind of my thought process on Fidelity and where I'm going. But yeah, I mean, so you say, oh, I like Visa long term, but the price needs to drop a little bit. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Visa's a bad company. I didn't sell it because it's a bad company.
I don't like their moat.
Really?
Yeah, anybody can do what they do. They don't have anything that's proprietary.
You mean like MasterCard coming in, taking more market share?
I mean, that's one. American Express is another. I don't think that Square is that far away from doing what they need to do, you know?
Yeah, PayPal. But no. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of my long form is I just really am trying to lower my amount of holdings in Fidelity to, one, increase the position in VTI, but two, also to get more of, into my longer term holds of more speculative plays, I guess. My Palantir, my SoFi, my Pepsi's a large position in that portfolio. ATVI is a large position in that portfolio. Stag, Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft. So, all right, you're back. I'm going to go pee.
Jacob, you can go grab a beer. Gilly said that. He said hogwash poo guy. It's funny. I was actually up talking to my wife. Here's some perspective because we didn't really give you any stats. And this is on Sam's. Thanks for the record number of downloads. Like, if you're curious what that number is, I actually put in the chat. What do you think the most amount of downloads that we ever got before Monday? And what do you think? I'll give it a second. I know this is like on a 40-second delay. What do you think the most amount of downloads, what do you think our record currently is, and what do you think it was before? I'm just curious because, like, when I used to watch podcasters, I had no idea what that meant. On YouTube, I know. You could see it. I'll give you some perspective. I average about 10,000 views a day total on YouTube every single day. So obviously that's average. When I post a video, like the video today, got like 4,000 views in a couple hours. So my views today will probably be closer to 14,000, right on top of my normal 10. What do you think we're so excited about when it comes to the podcast? In the beginning, we hit 1,000 a few times, 1,000 downloads on Monday. When we started doing the Fridays for a while, that's how you know you're an OG if you remember the Friday episodes. Those would get like 700, 800. Then we had, wow, good for you, thank you. So then we had a couple months where in the summer it fell off. When Jay was in Hawaii, we took a couple weeks off. And then we legitimately thought about stopping the podcast. We're like, this is ridiculous. See, I hope this shows you guys are starting to put numbers in because I'm getting them in on delay. We hit 1,234 downloads last week on Monday. That was a record. The most amount in one day. And JJ gets more. I'm not going to tell you how many views he gets every day because that's private and he can share that if he wants. But for me, getting 10,000 downloads a day, you'd think that getting 1,000 downloads once a week, the rest of the week is like 400. So we get like maybe 3,000 a week. I think we get like 15, maybe 16,000 a month. I am so fired up about that. It is incredible because it's been so long. So Jay, I'm talking about, I asked them to put in the chat how many downloads they thought the record was.
Oh, wow.
And we had 2 votes, 420K and 500K.
Holy shit, I wish.
And then,
well, hold up.
Well, then I didn't share for you. I shared roughly how many views I get per day on average on YouTube.
Okay.
Do you want to share that information or no?
I think my 28 days is around 200,000.
Okay. So I was saying, like, it's crazy how excited we are about something that is so far removed from YouTube. Like, if you drop down to 1,000 views on Monday and 400 views every other day, I would have to come put you on watch.
I'd be done for it.
You'd be finished. Did you get snacks? Is it Funyuns?
Yeah.
You're so aggressive with your snacks. You're so aggressive with snacks. Why do you even have Funyuns in your house?
They're from Subway today.
Were they in the closet? Where your toaster oven?
Yeah.
Guys, he puts his toaster ovens in his pantry. It's weird.
Saves room. Sorry, I'm like
So
crunching
weird.
everyone's ears right now.
And everyone thinks that like he like keeps it in there, and then when he needs to use his toaster oven, he pulls it out of the pantry. Oh no! He just opens the door.
Boom.
That was the weirdest shit I ever seen when I came there. what is your toaster oven doing in the pantry?
Or am I supposed to put it on the counter and take
That's
it?
so the snack. So that snack pantry is legit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not much of a snacker. I'm more of a beer.
Love my snacks.
Like your pantry is like my beer fridge.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Like if you like snacks, you'd open his pantry and be like the golden lights would come out and be like, ah. Where I was like, not really. I mean, I'll have a chip. I like salt. I'll have a chip. But if you are a beer drinker and you open my beer fridge, you will be mesmerized. Mesmerized.
And you got the wine cooler now.
And oh gosh, and my wine fridge. Alcohol? Like that's
No, I
it's
will
so
say,
weird. Like I would if I quit drinking, I wouldn't be able to throw everything out. I'd have to like drink everything and then it'd be over with. It would take me years. I have so much alcohol in this house.
I will say you have a good selection of alcohol when I come over.
It's
Like,
a full
oh,
bar.
I got tequila, I got some gin, I'm like, hey man, you got some vodka I could drink? Like, oh yeah, I got this. I'm like I would never have all that in my house ever.
I have a full bar. I don't always have mixers because I don't have juices and stuff. But
That's
I have a full
right
bar.
down
Like I have at least. I try and keep 2 of all the whites. So I have 2 whiskeys, 2 gins, a white rum, a dark rum, a spiced rum, 25 different whiskeys, probably 5 different tequilas and mezcals. Like that's the funny thing. Like we never made Long Island iced teas at my house.
I've made them here.
No, but you never let me make you a Long Island iced tea. You had one at my buddy's bar, but you never had me make you one.
No.
No, first thing on the list next time. I'm coming to the airport with a Long Island iced tea next time. Have you sleeping? Maybe without. Actually, no. That's probably more for like the ride to the airport.
Yeah. Agreed.
Any slowdown in the real estate market, any section of the nation where you at? Have you seen any slows down?
Nope.
You haven't come to me with a deal in a very long time.
Ariel
I thought-
actually just texted me a few days
think
ago
you
because I
get-
haven't talked to her in, months. And she's like, "Hey, just checking in. Haven't heard from you in a while. Whatever." I said I look every day, but I said, Ariel, I don't see anything worthwhile going for. I have been trying to make some connections with some wholesalers in KC. The only problem with that, man, is like that's a lot of extra work with what
Yeah.
they give us because they're rough properties, which I'm not opposed to taking on.
We could take those on when it's summer, and I can come out for a week.
Well, it's more than a week though, man. Like, I mean, it's managing subcontract. Like, it's a lot of work. It's not just coming out for a week and throwing some paint.
Can I push the pause button? Because Jacob gave us $5. Thank you, Jacob. I
Boom,
appreciate it.
baby.
Said slow and steady wins the race. Keep podcast rolling. Thank you so much for the content. Also, thank you for the super soft average money shirts. Super soft. That's one thing we have heard over and over again about the merch. That at the very least, it's very, very comfortable to wear.
We did go up with like the upper premium quality.
We did, because as somebody that's had businesses and gone like 100% cotton or like whatever, I'm like, I would rather people look at the price and not get it than get like a cotton shirt that like after one wear the neck is out here and kind of like my Met shirt right now. And so yeah, we did. Thank you. Gilly, you're not a drinker, right? Like he said, I got a 6-pack of Atlantic, non-alcoholic, 5 different flavors, seltzer. I don't think Gilly's a drinker, which I'm jealous of.
There's nothing wrong with
No, nothing wrong with that at all. I'm jealous of that. One of my biggest life regrets is I started drinking. We talked about this, I think, last week, or no, that was in my live stream. Somebody said they were turning 21 and what should be their first drink, and I said, if you're turning 21, your goal should be like, how long can I go not drinking? They never drank before.
that. Oh wow.
So if I got to 21 and I hadn't drank, I probably wouldn't start.
You know what, man?
But then again, I have addictive personality. So like I know
Yeah,
some people
yeah.
like your wife. Your wife can have one glass of wine
And be done.
every month and be done.
Yep.
Where I smell the wine and I'm like, that bottle's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gilly, congratulations, buddy. I'm one day at a time, man. My one day at a time has
Wow.
lasted maybe 6, 7 days a couple times, but so no hate for me, man. I'll support you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll kill him, man. Fucks with you on that, man. Good for you. You know, like
Yeah.
so, some people just don't act like gentlemen when they drink, you know, and they know that. And then I give them a lot of credit when they acknowledge that. Data asked about Powell Talks. I will say, ever since I've got rid of all social media, with the exception of YouTube, I love that I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I love it. And the crazy thing is, Jay, I feel so disconnected from the world. But then again, I grew up in a time, I went to college without a cell phone and the internet. So, like, that was what I knew. It's almost like nostalgic. Like, I think my wife brought up the Gazelle trial today with me or whatever. And that's something I would have been all over. I would have been watching every news outlet, Ben Shapiro. I would have been all over that. But I wasn't I mean, maybe it's a lot like feeling sober. Like having social media out of my life, I am a completely different person. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. I love it.
I'll be honest with you. If I wasn't in on YouTube and like trying to build a brand, I probably wouldn't be on social media that often.
Let me ask you this then, because for anybody in here that's start thinking of starting a business, I will say that I'll give my position first. I think that some businesses warrant themselves to social media, but do you see a direct relationship between Instagram and say your YouTube channel? Like I always thought it was mind-boggling that I've had Instagram longer.
Yeah.
I have almost 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, but I've danced around 4,000 subscribers on Instagram my whole life. Can't grow. People are so fickle. Every time you post, everyone's like mad at you, DMing you. Like
No, I think it depends on what you focus on.
I've
Like,
never
I
had
don't-
anybody in the YouTube comment section be like, "Found you on Instagram, found you on Twitter. So glad I did."
Yeah. Well, I think like I said, I think it depends on what you focus on. Like if I focused on Instagram and like if I put the amount of time and effort that I put into YouTube into Instagram,
Yeah.
I think my Instagram would be a lot bigger. But personally, in my opinion, out of any social media platform, whatever you want to call it, I still think YouTube is top dog.
I have friends, and you probably know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to call names, but I have friends that have well over 100,000 followers on Instagram and have dabbled in YouTube here and there. And every time we talk, it's all about like, oh, I know I got to get on YouTube. And I never say to them, oh, I got to get on Instagram.
Dude, I saw a post
You know?
today, a couple days ago, I think it was, from some people about like money they made from different platforms. I'm not gonna go into details, but I'll say this: I was shocked to see the amount of money they made versus what I'm making on YouTube. And I feel like
Yeah.
they're a little bit more I feel like they're way more well known than I am.
Well, you're monetized on TikTok. I'm not.
Oh, TikTok's nothing, dude.
Right? Like, but the image of people that are not in the industry, if you see somebody, if I didn't know this and I saw somebody with 1 million TikTok followers, right? You'd
Mhm.
think they were making bank. What are the odds that somebody with 1 million TikTok followers is making less money than you with 150,000 YouTube subscribers?
That'd be pretty tough. I would say it's very unlikely they're making more money than me.
They're not. Yeah, right? But nobody knows that.
Unless they land some amazing sponsorships like every single month, which I think's very doubtful for what I make per month. But yeah, man, like YouTube's where it's at.
Yeah.
Social media wise.
It really is like you said, the top dog,
I agree.
you know? And I'm glad. And I found it before the other things. Like
Right.
I only got on Instagram and Twitter and everything else because everyone told me you have to be on Instagram and Twitter and everything else. And then after 3 years, when I realized it wasn't growing my business at all, and going on Twitter was making me angry, and going on Instagram was making me feel like I had to live a certain life that I didn't want to live. Now that it's gone, man, and it started. I talked about it last week. It started with Thanksgiving when I left my phone home for like the whole weekend. Dude, it sounds so cliche and boomer, but there is no reason to be on social media.
Mm-mm. No.
And I'm saying that even as some businesses, like we
Well,
had
hold
Knockwater, the barbecue company, they were in here. Their Instagram is important. That's how they market. That's very important for them.
I was gonna
But
say,
for
if you're
us-
a business or a
Yeah,
brand,
for us, yeah, like
No.
Dubco can't get rid of their Instagram.
yeah,
Dubco brings business to their Instagram. But I'll say, like I asked you before, nobody's ever come to my comment section and been like, "Oh man, I found you on Instagram."
right.
When I bartended at Dubco on trivia night, the amount of people that came in was like, "I had no idea that you had trivia night. I'm so glad I went on Instagram today."
Yep. For businesses
Yeah.
like that, it's huge.
Right.
So huge.
Are you licking the Funyun crumbs out of the Funyun? You just dipsticked your finger. You just did that with the Funyuns.
That's the best part.
Oh
The crumbs
you
of
are
the
s-
bag is the best part.
I can say I've never had a
Tell me
Funyun
I'm
before.
wrong.
I've never had a Funyun before.
Get the out of here.
I've never had a Funyun before. I've heard of them. You want to know the first time I heard about Funyuns and I almost got them? When I watched Half Baked years ago, and he was like, "Funyuns, man,
Mm.
get some Funyuns."
Mm.
I don't even think we have Funyuns. Do I have those around here? Are they everywhere?
Yeah, they're everywhere. I'm pretty sure they're owned by Pepsi.
I've heard of Funyuns. I'm not gonna say I haven't heard of them. I've never had a Funyun.
Yeah.
I've also never had a Frito.
They are owned by Pepsi because they're a Frito-Lay company.
I've never had a Funyun. I mean, I never had a Frito. I never had a Frito either.
You've never had like a chili cheese dog with Fritos on it?
No. You want to know another weird candy I've never had?
Oh my gosh.
I've never had Skittles.
Are you American or like what?
I never had a sweet tooth. We didn't have a candy house.
What'd you eat?
Food.
You never went to like the grocery store and were like, "Dad, can I have this pack of Skittles?"
Yo, Hun showing up 5 hours late.
There he is. We talked about you earlier, ma'am. I said
Yeah.
we haven't seen you in a
Yo,
while.
Yo, Hun. I finished it without you, but that's what we were talking about. I finished it without you. Dave gave me $5 super chat to finish the bottle. I did. 18 wheels, a dozen, 6 shooters said, "I've been in business 20 years. Haven't any social media. Never have." What's your business, man? I'd love to promote your business. What do you do? Thank you for supporting. Let me know what your business is. If we can help you. If you're like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah,
can't
you
help
guys are tool bags.
Oh, we're a multi-million-dollar business. What's your little podcast that you just told us has 1,000 downloads going to do for me, you
Right,
fucking
right.
geek? Meanwhile, I will say, what if you call somebody in proper context a geek? It is probably one of the funniest things I've
That's
ever heard.
awesome.
I think geek and jerk, like, if you can use jerk properly, it's really, really hard. But geek is even better. Like,
Yeah.
I like doing it in aggressive situations. Like, I don't do it like jokingly. Like, I'll use it like aggressively. Like, shut the fuck up, you fucking geek.
Whoa.
Hard to do.
Whoa, we're going there right now.
Well, we're not live anymore.
I mean, we are, but not on the podcast.
Oh, we're
Excuse me.
live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. My bad.
Yeah. It's all right.
Yo, huh? All right.
Hey, hon, there you go.
Yo, he's closing tomorrow. All right, he gets a pass.
Hey.
I
Congrats,
take back
dude.
everything I just said, man. You're not a geek. I feel
Congrats.
bad. I take back everything. Talk to us in like a couple of months when you hate being a homeowner.
That's awesome, man.
I'll drink to that. Hey, Dade's drinking to that. Hun, Dade told us he went to his 20-week appointment. Everything's good. Cheers to everybody.
Beer's done.
18 wheels and a dozen 6 shooter says, "I'm a dumb old truck driver." First off, if you had a business for 20 years, you're not dumb.
Yep, I'd agree.
And probably a specialist. So what's the business then, bud? Do you own the trucks? Do you own? I don't know. I'm from New York in the suburbs. I don't know much about trucking. except for what I watch on YouTube when I watch Ice Road Truckers. I actually watch on YouTube guys that keep like they'll live stream their webcams when they're driving. Actually, they were going through St. Louis the other day, but like I don't know the business model. So like, there was a show. I think there was a show once I watched when I'm watching bad TV where it was like people bid to like move stuff on trucks, but I don't know.
It's like you something. Brian just gave us a $20 super chat, by the way.
Oh my gosh! Don't tell him what the topic is. He's gotta come back. Hon, I'll tell you this though. We recorded the podcast for an hour and 49 minutes.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
was
long one.
nearly 2 hours.
And I'm not editing it. So
Gone.
it's gonna be an hour and 45 minutes. I'm no longer editing.
Nah, not worth it.
Until we get a review that's like, you guys are dirtbags. I hope you expire. I'm not gonna edit.
I still wouldn't edit after that.
But Hun drops to 20. He knows that we're drinking now, so I might have to go get another beer. So the topic tonight was average money, bro. I'm gonna wait. Even though you gave me $20, I'm not gonna bow down to it. We talked about some stuff.
It was a good episode.
It was a good episode. You have to listen on Monday. Well, we're going for a new record. I want 13 hundo. I want 13 hundo.
I want 15 hundo. Can I say this though? So
That's aggressive, though. That's aggressive.
I want it. Speaking of like podcast versus YouTube,
Right.
podcast is still a pretty new space to where YouTube's very saturated, I would say. But
I think there's a very, very small part of the population that listens to podcasts.
I think it's growing tremendously. I really do.
I think that radio will be gone soon. Because if you think about it, morning talk in New York, I don't know how it is in Missouri, but in New York, when I drive to work, there's no music on the radio. It's all the morning shows, the syndicated morning shows.
Mhm.
And it started with Stern before you went to
Yeah,
XM.
That's true.
So like I'm out of New York, so I have every syndicated morning show. Hot 97, Ebro in the morning are the rap ones, and Elvis Duran in the morning show. Like they're all in my backyard. I think about like how long I've been listening to those, and I'm like, how are they not just podcasts that every once in a while play a song?
Right. Yes. No, it's exactly what they are.
So it's like if I feel like if you're commuting to work and you're still listening to like your local radio station's like morning show, you're
podcast.
just what?
It's a podcast.
Yeah.
So we have we have a very, very popular morning show here in St. Louis. It's called 105.7 The Point. Those guys are freaking awesome, man. They're like local celebrities here.
Really?
They're hilarious. They do so many cool different things. So they do like oh man, it's so funny. So they'll do the porn star birthday of the day.
That's aggressive.
They do like boobs, real or fake. So they'll have 3 different pictures.
Why are we degrading women on this podcast now?
It's not degrading. The women send the pictures in. You
still
got to
haven't
guess
done
if their boobs are real or fake.
Oh, that's easy. Do you get to touch them?
No, they're pictures.
Oh, that could be difficult. Can we
Yeah.
see the face with the boobs?
Nope, just the boobs.
Can't see the face. It's tough.
Yep, so they do real or fake, and then there's like 6 guys in the show, and then they all compete against each other who can come out on top. They do Craigslist, what is it called? I forget now. I haven't listened to them in so long. Jeez.
Can we play a game? Can we play a game with everyone that's watching? You give a podcast that everyone should listen to. I'll give a podcast that everyone should listen to. And they have to, Jesse, we'll get to that in just a second. We'll get back to Sox. They can come back and tell us which one was better. Like, what's your go-to? I know Theo Vaughn. You love Theo Vaughn.
I mean, lately I haven't really been listening to many, man. I've been so busy.
Oh. Two Bears, One Cave is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my whole life.
I never listened to that.
2 Bears, 1 Cave.
You know
guys.
what? I'll say this, and this is going to be corny as hell, but I don't care. What I listen to that's not necessarily a podcast is motivational speeches.
I don't get into that.
That's my go-to. When I'm in the gym or when I'm on a run or when I'm doing something like this morning, I worked out. I did legs. I knew I wasn't gonna want to go into the gym and go do legs. Got up at 5 o'clock and I was like, just do it, just go. So what motivates me is I throw on my headphones, turn on motivational podcast on Spotify, and there's like 4-minute episodes, 30-minute episodes, 20-minute episodes, and it just gets me pumped, man.
My dad always said, "Don't be a motivation. Don't listen to motivational quotes. Be one."
You can listen to one and be one at the same time. I feel like.
I don't know.
I feel like that motivates me to get ahead. Like when for example, if I'm doing
I'm
squats, right?
motivated by negative feedback. I'm motivated by hate. That's why I hate Peloton so much. My wife loves this thing. I hate Peloton instructors being like, "Today's your day. You did it. You got on the bike." Like SNL did a skit about this. I need a Peloton instructor that's like, "You fat fuck. Why are you only pushing out these watts right now?" Or like, you're going to do the Ironman triathlon, you geek? That's the motive. I need to be in the gym doing a squat. I need to rack that bar. I need somebody in my ear being like, is that for your husband? Is he going to lift that? That's what I need.
Makes sense.
I want to give love to the chat. Just said PayPal, Square, long. I'm not PayPal or Square personally right now.
I'm PayPal long term.
Aaron Bennett said I partied with Elvis Duran in the morning show in Mexico. That could have gotten weird. I'm going to leave it at that because they are weirdos. Did you buy that? Buffett FinTech that you talked about today? You just
No.
make a video about it, or you buy it?
Nope, just made a video about it.
Did you say in the video if you were going to buy or sell?
I said that I think it was overvalued. They're not profitable yet. They did hit profitability the first half of 2021, but I was thinking about buying or like putting in an order for shares for the IPO tomorrow, but given the way things are going with IPOs this year, I'm just gonna sit on the sidelines and watch.
Are you watching Hun right now? I made the most money ever I have on call options today, and it was on Roku, over $30,000. I bought the calls 2 weeks ago for a January expiration. Had a little bird tell me that they were getting a contract with YouTube. Roku's another very popular stock. Hun, who do you know on the inside, man? The kid's winning every day.
Hang on, he bought. I'm looking here.
He bought call options.
When?
He said he had the biggest day ever today.
Okay. Well, yeah, they're up.
He bought the calls 2 weeks ago with a January expiration. What was a strike?
So it's
30K
the
today.
8th.
What's a strike?
So he bought them.
Yes.
He bought them November 26th ish, right around Thanksgiving.
Yes. Hun?
Dude,
Let's
you're
go,
killing
boy.
it, man. I love it.
Let's go, boy.
I love it. Hey, I'm gonna have to get off here, man.
Don't do it on camera.
What? I gotta bounce.
Oh, off the podcast.
What'd you think I meant?
Getting off means something different here, I guess.
Jesus. All right.
You're out of here?
Yeah, I am.
What happened? Would you just get drunk?
No.
I thought we were having a good time.
We're having a great time, but got some stuff I gotta go do.
Like, why is going to bed? Hun's at 250. Strike.
250 strike.
Good for you, bud.
Keep killing it, man. Let us know what you're
All right.
doing in the Discord because you're winning.
Jesse, it's a secret. JJ's got to go. We'll talk next week. Jesse, ask me next week. Or hop on my live stream on Sundays, 8:15, Bradfin Live.
Boom.
We
there
can
you
talk
go.
that. JJ just got to go.
Yep.